What's good, Footy Culture fam? My name is Matthews, aka Matt, aka Matozinho. And boys, if you didn't notice, I have someone different with me on the couch.
Yes.
Got a special guest in the building. Man like Jason, aka the Soccer Pilgrim. What's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going? I'm happy to be here. Kind of surreal. Like I was telling you guys off camera, I'm so used to this. Like on YouTube or on Instagram. It's a real set.
Yeah, it's a real set that's in my basement.
You made it.
Yeah, once again, we got the regulars, man like Jimmy,
What's going on?
and man like Quinto.
Who it is?
The boys
What's up,
over
what's
here.
up?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. But yeah, before we get started, just give us like your background, how you got into footy,
Yeah, what made you
how
love
you
it?
got into the teams you support and whatnot, just how you fell in love with the game.
Well, I'm born and raised in Montreal. My parents are Korean, and growing up, it was like, man, growing up, my parents made me do like 10 things at once. So like
piano,
Bro.
guitar, all that.
it was literally like I went to church, French tutor, English tutor, Korean school,
Jeez.
math, swimming lessons,
Jesus.
soccer, among many things.
Damn.
And I hated it all. Even footy, I hated it because I was like, oh, it's just a chore, right?
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Then in high school, so I stopped playing at like 12. Then in high school, around 16, my high school friends were really into it. They're all like AC Milan fans, Manchester
shit,
United
eh?
fans, and they're from the Middle East, most of them.
Yeah.
And the way I saw them interact with the game and how they loved it made me like fall in love with it.
That's dope.
Yeah, so then at that point, we decided to go play pickup. We were 16, so we went throughout the city in Montreal just to play pickup soccer. And that's when I fell in love because I realized I was like, oh, at pickup sessions, there'd be a team. There'd be like a Haitian team, a Senegalese team, an Algerian team, a Vietnamese team, and they all had their own style. And I was
Right.
like, this is so much fun.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that's how I fell in love with it. Because I was new, I didn't know what clubs to support. I didn't understand the culture behind footy. So I just started watching Real Madrid because they just signed Ronaldo, Kaká,
Oh,
Benzema.
that summer.
Yeah,
Crazy,
2009.
crazy summer.
2009,
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso, they signed. Like I had been watching casually, but then I was like, okay, I gotta support a club. So
Yeah.
like Real Madrid, they're signing all these superstars. So that was easy.
Yeah.
That was really easy. And then like I would have to say around maybe like 2 years later, I started learning about Liverpool and what they're about. I went on YouTube, I saw Steven Gerrard and like that comeback in Istanbul. And
Classic.
then I love what Liverpool are about because, you know, Real Madrid was like Hollywood, like
Yeah.
flashy, you know. But Liverpool, I was like, oh, this is like a real community. It reminded me what the Montreal Canadiens were like when I was a kid. You know, it's like this is what the city's about, working class. And then Montreal Canadiens, well, not the same anymore. It's, tickets are way too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I got into Liverpool. And then that year I started really watching when they had Raheem Sterling, Luis Suarez.
Sturridge.
Oh, okay.
Sturridge.
Sturridge.
Yeah.
SAS.
I remember
Jeez.
Stuart
Yeah.
Downing, who was just like, and Andy Carroll. Those awful
Andy
kids.
Carroll.
Bro. And that's when I started watching him, especially Luis Suarez, because I remember him in the 2010 World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
and he killed it.
Yeah.
And he bites people. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, who's this guy, man? I was like, who's this guy?
This guy's a savage.
And that's it. So I was like watching, you know, Liverpool from a distance, and then I think when Real Madrid fans started booing Ronaldo, I realized, oh, these fans kind of suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Real Madrid fans, I'm not sorry, you guys suck. Like, boring, like spoiled, man. And then even Liverpool fans are kind of spoiled too, if we're being honest.
At least now.
At least
they are,
now,
yeah.
yeah. But they kind of deserve it because they were
Yeah.
so garbage for
Yeah.
years. So yeah, so I guess I lean more Liverpool, and my friends call me a bandwagon. I'm like, all right, cool. Like maybe next year I'll be like an AC Milan fan. I don't know.
At the end of the day, you love footy, you know?
Yeah, that's
and
it.
like it's what it's all about, you know? You find the love for a team. You know, it might not be the team you want in the beginning, but then, you know, you fall in love with another one. What's wrong with that, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it. But the way I rationalize it now is that I'm all in with CF Montreal. Honestly,
You gotta support your local, right?
Yeah.
but that's it. That's the one club that could really mess with me emotionally,
Mm.
which they have. Like I started watching them, I think 2014 or 15. I took them seriously because that's when they got Drogba.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
true,
But my
true.
favorite player of all time is Nacho Piatti.
Yeah,
Bro,
he's a
legend.
baller though.
You don't like
Montreal legend.
So
man.
silky.
so silky, but he has this weird way of dribbling where it looks like he's about to lose the ball, but
Yeah,
he doesn't lose the
yeah.
ball. Like
Yeah.
How do you defend that?
But that's it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna step, and then that's what he wants you to do.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for Piatti. I get emotional when I talk
Piatti
to
is
him.
nice.
I love that guy. I know in Italian his name means plates. I don't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's kind of I guess my footy story. Like
Dope.
in terms of watching, playing, I played double A, but I hated it
Yeah.
Mhm.
because the club I played for was my local club, LaSalle Rapids.
Mm-hmm.
The team I was with, it was very cliquey, and they knew each other since they were kids. So I was like an
Ah,
outsider,
okay.
and it was kind
Uh,
of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're nice guys. I just didn't vibe with them
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And but I played my entire life in the Montreal Korean League.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing. Eh?
Sick.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
sick.
when not since COVID, the league's dead
Yeah.
Ah,
because no one wants to organize anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was fun because there was this one team of older dudes,
Uh-huh.
and they all played semi-pro in Korea and Japan.
Really. eh?
that's sick.
Like there's one guy we call him Spartan.
Spartan.
Yo, he's like in his 30s, but he's jacked.
Yeah.
And he's like a personal trainer, and
Yeah.
he does like those Ironman competitions where
Oh,
they like
shit.
pose and
Shit.
stuff.
Yeah.
This guy has Ronaldo's body. I'm not exaggerating. So he sprint past me, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, this is
This
insane.
guy's fast for his build.
Yeah, so like you're trying to go shoulder to shoulder, you just
Yeah.
bounce off him. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
yeah.
gosh,
Yeah,
man.
it was fun days.
What,
Fun
what,
days.
what position you let you play?
Anywhere on the wing, left or
Yeah.
right. So I could
Yeah.
play. For a long time, I played on the left wing, so I like to cut in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
You right-footed or left-footed?
Right foot.
Right.
Right-footed. Okay. Okay.
But then, on my 7-a-side team, we had this dude. His name is Joey. He's
Mhm.
fantastic, really good player.
Shout out Joey.
Oh, my teammates, whatever. But like he went on left, and then I went right. So I played more right wing the last few years,
Mm.
and now I'm seeing myself play more defense,
Mm.
which I don't.
Really? Yeah. So from winger to defense.
But
Sounds like someone I know.
Tell you about it.
But
I know how you feel, man.
But I don't mind because for me, it's like I don't care what position I play. I better be the best at that.
Exactly.
That's my
okay.
mentality.
Yeah,
I hear
Same
you.
with me.
Yeah. So wait, what position you guys play?
Me, I don't know. I like playing like anywhere in attack, really. So like
Mm.
on the wing, just
Mm.
behind the striker, like anywhere where I'm involved in like the build of the attack, and then possibly assisting or scoring.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Super nice. What do you
I
guys?
started off as a winger, as yourself,
And now you're a fullback.
and now I'm slowly. I went
He's
center
playing center back.
center back, CDM, center mid,
Goalkeeper.
right back, goalkeeper.
So
Mm.
you failed as a winger. Is that what's happening?
I guess my pace went down,
Yeah.
man.
Oh no.
Got injured. My
As he
pace
got
went
got
down.
older, he started shifting center field. And now
The
he's
knee injury,
center
man,
back.
got him
and, you know,
slower.
Now he's
But
using
But no,
his-
I like mid. Mid's playing. I like playing center mid, right
That's
in the middle.
fine.
A little 8 roll,
Mm.
Oh, that's fun. That's a
8
fun
6.
position.
You know, I like to get into tackles. I like to go in hard.
Mm.
Slide tackling is one of my favorite things.
Studs up.
Fine.
Studs
Okay.
up, man.
I respect that.
And then just
Yeah.
like giving that last pass to a player, I get that motivation like from a good pass, or I get like I get happy when I get a good pass. Like
Yeah.
to me, scoring, assisting is like not the same for me. Giving a good pass.
I'm
Mm.
kind of there now. I'm
Yeah.
starting to appreciate assisting goals where you
Uh-huh.
give that like you see the pocket and you just thread it
Yeah,
in. You're just
exactly.
like, yeah, your guy is like, oh my god, look at my goal. I'm like, yeah, but you wouldn't be there without me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Exactly.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
man.
Yeah.
Wait, what about yourself?
There
Yeah.
you go. Well, me, natural born 9. Natural born 9. Natural born 9. Right down to center back. Sometimes left bench.
There you go.
Those like my three main positions, depending on the day.
Depending who we're facing.
Depending who we're facing.
That's fair. Wait, so you guys play in a league together?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
play
indoor, outdoor.
Yeah,
all
we're
that.
gonna be starting a league indoor soon, so
Yeah.
yeah, we'll be filming a lot more content for that too.
I'm
People used
excited.
to like that. Used to like our indoor content, so
Yeah.
and now that we more used to filming, I think it's gonna be better. So
Yeah,
That's good.
Because we were supposed to have like something filmed for outdoor this past season,
Yeah.
but
it was a mess.
it's a mess.
I think we had
We lost, like, every
we had
game.
a full team like once,
Yeah.
and,
Oh, it was
and
one
our
of
goalie
those.
showed up like twice.
our goalie
So
showed up
it's
2
like-
games, and the rest of the games never showed up.
It was one of those where it's
Yeah.
like
So we're just
Just a
like playing with like
write-off.
9, 10 players at a time.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Like we're lucky if we have like one
Sometimes
or two
8.
subs.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
indoor we're back,
indoors a lot better. It's like 5 people, 6 people, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and it's like
and you're good.
Wait, but isn't 7-a-side like why don't you play 7-a-side in the summer? Is that not a common thing here?
no, it's not.
Not really.
Oh
Really?
really?
Maybe
Oh.
we should look for a 7-a-side.
Yeah,
league
like, we
because
haven't-
can actually get 7 guys to
Yeah.
show up to a game.
I find 11 aside more fun.
Yeah.
Like in the
Yeah.
summer
Same.
too, playing
Yeah.
outdoor. Like
It is more fun.
more fun, I
7
think, right?
aside, I think in the winter is nice. Even like I think I've seen 9 aside before.
Yeah,
9-a-side.
I played 9 aside indoor,
Okay.
and it's very nice. It's a lot of fun.
Because like for me growing up, besides 11-a-side,
Mhm.
it's always been futsal, 5-a-side, or 7-a-side.
okay.
So
I
the,
see now.
like throughout, I think the one thing that was consistent because I pick up soccer in Montreal is always 7-a-side.
Mm.
Wow.
But then
see?
they'll cram like 9 dudes in there, which
Yeah.
it's the worst. But it's always 7-a-side. That's the culture,
yeah,
and I like it because it's like a mix of 11-a-side and 5-a-side.
exactly. Right in the middle, sweet spot.
And you get a lot of ball time. If
Yeah.
you don't get ball time, you're doing something wrong. You know what I mean?
You know
it's
what you
fun.
mean? And I think it's just different here. It's like you don't see too many pickup things coming up
Oh no.
around here. No, there's not many pickup. There's not
And
much
if there is,
7-a-side.
maybe we're just not looking in the right places.
Maybe that's what it is. But I mean,
Maybe
I think
up
we would
here-
notice.
I think maybe in the city you might be
In the
able
city
to find
more
a
often,
little bit
probably,
more.
yeah.
But I think just because of where
We're located.
we're located, I think it's a
Vaughan.
lot more like league based and not as much pickup based,
That
right?
makes sense,
But hey,
yeah.
that's something we can change.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to look into doing something like that. Maybe we do our own thing. Maybe
Because we don't really have like organized like
no.
Pickup.
pickup, right?
Mhm.
More so just like show up at the pitch, call a few guys, get something going. You know what
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean? Nothing like too organized.
Okay, interesting. Because
Yeah.
like growing up in Montreal, it was there are the parks where you
Mhm.
knew that there will always be people playing.
Mhm.
So there's one park I used to go to called Kent Park, which they changed it to Martin Luther King Park,
Mm.
and it's a rough park. Like it's really hood. It's a rough
gritty.
park, but it was fun because I mean, the one thing that sucked was be like 5 teams waiting to play. The
Mhm.
rules was 10 minutes, 2 goals.
Okay.
First to two.
Yeah, first to 2, and if not, like after 10 minutes,
You're
whoever.
both out.
Or no, if it's 1-0 after 10
Okay.
minutes, you stay on.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
But then sometimes, like if it's a draw,
Mhm.
some parks, this is where it varies from park to park. Some parks do penalties.
Oh.
Other parks, the winner goes off, and other parks, the winner stays on.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So it varies from park to park. So you can tell like the different teams that usually play in this one park,
Mhm.
and then they go to the next park.
They don't know
And then
the
when they're
rules.
asked to get off, they're like, "Why are we getting off?"
Yeah.
And then there's a 30-minute debate. And then it's just wasting more time. And I'm just like, "Oh, I hate this. That's why I can't do it anymore. I'm like, I don't want to
Yeah,
wait.
it gets too annoying because some people are just too much and like, man, I can't handle this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was I used to go a lot when I was like 19, early 20s.
Mhm,
It was a lot of fun, but now I'm at a point where I'm like, I just want things calm,
Mm.
organized. I just
mean,
want-
No problems
No
and
problems.
just play it, right?
yeah, that's it.
But that's cool. Like you have that culture over there in Montreal. That you know a lot of 5-a-side, 7-a-side culture. That's like runs around. Like
Yeah.
here we don't have.
It's
Much.
tough to find. Like there's
It
leagues
really
that
is.
you can sign up for and pay, premium to play.
But I
But
Like
feel
there's
like
leagues everywhere.
But I feel like
but
there's no like culture behind it. Like I feel like 5-a-side, outside,
Mm.
like you're saying, there's more cultures. It's like more. I don't know. League is just not the same.
It was fun. It's like because there'd be guys that I would see every Saturday or Sunday.
Right? And then you get
Whenever-
to know them.
You get to know them, and then you knew when it was Ramadan because there'd just be quiet on the pitch. There'd be nobody, no one during Ramadan. But like, it was fun because I remember when I used to play this one field. It's near Metro. I forget the name. It's near Metro Frontenac,
Mhm.
and that's where they used to. It used to be an old baseball stadium that they tore down. Now
That's
it's like
sick.
2 7-a-side pitches.
Oh,
That's so
shit.
sick.
Like there's no remnants of the baseball stadium anymore.
Wow.
There's just a plaque
Mhm.
and saying like, um,
Used to be a baseball.
De Lorimier. Okay, it's Parc de Lorimier. That's what it's
Okay.
called.
Mm.
And I remember this one guy. He used to wear Inter Milan Figo jersey.
Jeez.
His name is Farouche. Incredible dribbler. But after the 3rd or 4th game, he would gas out because his dribbling would be sloppy.
Yeah.
And everyone just knew it was like, wait till he gasses out.
Yeah.
And then there's this one African team where they're all from, I think, Guinea.
Mm-hmm.
They were really good because they were big dudes
Mhm.
and they were just hilarious. They would just banter.
That's so funny.
Because I was a young guy, they'd call me garçon. They're like, "Bon,
Garçon."
garçon,
Yeah.
garçon." But they always got under my
Garçon.
skin, and then they find that funny.
Yeah.
They're like, "I'm not insulting you, but you're pissed." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Don't condescend,
it would
man.
throw you off. Yeah.
I'm just a sensitive 16-year-old. Leave me alone."
Oh my gosh, no, that's sick though. I hope we have something here like that soon.
Yeah.
7-a-side, I always think that's fun. 5-a-side, 7-a-side. It's like you could show more of your ability
Yeah.
Yeah.
that way. You get the ball more often as well, right?
Yeah.
So I've always liked that. Even when I was a kid, I used to play in a Spanish league, which is like a 5-a-side
Mhm.
downtown
Mhm.
around there in Toronto, and you can just a lot of ballers in those leagues too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Dribblers.
you got to be very technical to be in those leagues.
100%.
Especially indoor, right?
Yeah, especially indoor. And
There's no kick and chase.
you notice who played in those leagues, how they play. Like this guy
Yeah.
definitely played like in a 5-a-side or thing like that. But it's just that small space. I always loved it better.
Same.
You know
Because
what
like you learn how to deal with the pressure.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you just assume you don't have time on the ball.
No, because you don't.
No,
Right?
Exactly. Wait. By the way, what are your ethnic backgrounds? I'm curious. Because for whatever reason, I assumed you're all Italian.
No, not even close. What do you think he is?
What do I look like? I mean, I have
Yeah.
You
the
must
jersey.
You must be
So
Brazilian.
I'm half Brazilian, half Polish.
Mm.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
there's
mix
Not
up.
bad, eh? I'm Ecuadorian.
Ecuador. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, full Ecuadorian and then Canadian as well.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Italian, Canadian, Croatian, Scottish. I'm like
You're just Canadian.
mixed breed. I'm pretty much Canadian. But yeah, one
And
of
you're
those
Korean,
ones.
right?
Yeah, Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are your parents born there or?
Yeah, born. My parents had my dad at least had a crazy story. Like, he was born in 1944.
Shit.
So like Japan still colonized Korea, and apparently my family lost everything to Japanese
Damn.
colonization.
shit.
And then he was 6 years old when the Korean War broke out,
Mm-hmm.
and he would just tell me all this PTSD. I'm like, that's cool, man. And then
Thanks.
and when he was 23, he fought in Vietnam. He was in the army.
Shit.
That's
Holy.
crazy.
He was in the Korean army, and then the Korean government was like, "We're looking for volunteers to go fight in Vietnam." And my dad was like, "I'll go." I'm like,
Damn.
so that's why when I was a kid, he was like, "No toy guns." I'm like,
Mm.
as an adult, I'm like, "Oh, okay."
That makes sense now.
That makes sense now. I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, that's
Jeez.
yeah."
That's
So,
sick, though. That's crazy.
so yeah, and I asked him, I was like, "Why did you choose Canada, not America?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like America, you make so much more money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, I just want an easy life.
Yeah.
So I came here, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I was like, "Why Montreal?" He was like, "Back in the days, it was the biggest city, the coolest city, very European." He's like, "Now I
Yeah,
don't."
that's true.
It's like, "Now I don't know what happened."
Now I don't like it.
It's
here.
gone to shit.
Yeah, just the politics got weird.
No, same with my parents. They came from Ecuador as well,
Oh yeah, okay,
and I asked them too, why Canada? Why not America?
yeah,
Same thing, quieter here.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah.
So yeah, ever since that, I'm glad we're here in Canada.
Yeah.
And now we're all here together. Isn't this beautiful?
There you go.
But you were mentioning before, so Liverpool,
Yeah.
Madrid are your favorite teams,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Montreal.
And Montreal.
Mhm.
Have you seen Liverpool or Madrid live?
I watched Madrid live.
Madrid live, eh? At the
Um,
Bernabeu?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Damn.
Zidane's first game back as coach. Remember,
Oh shit.
they had Lopetegui, and then
Yes.
they
Yeah,
had
yeah, yeah.
Solari,
Mhm.
and then Zidane came back. I remember the starting lineup, cause I'll never forget that day. I remember. Okay, I'm gonna start from scratch. I was in the metro,
Yeah.
and then there was like few people with like Madrid jerseys. And I'm like, okay, I'm at the right direction. And then next thing you know, the entire metro's filled of just like white jerseys.
Mhm.
Jeez.
I get out, people are singing. It was just like
A whole
everyone
vibe.
from around the world came for Real Madrid.
That's sick.
And I was lucky because I got tickets because there's a girl I knew back in university, and her family are Madridistas. They had a
Oh.
membership.
Oh, they
Yeah.
have season tickets.
That's it. So I used her membership to get tickets,
Damn.
and it was like it's already a discounted price.
Mhm.
Damn.
And I was sitting. I didn't realize how good my seats were because I was like, you know, I'm gonna save up X amount of money to go to this game.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting like right next to that VIP section where all the players' families.
Damn.
way.
And I was like right next to him. I'm like, oh, that's Marcelo's like family right there.
No way.
That's
Like I'm not even kidding. I'm like, that's his kids.
crazy.
And the starting lineup was Courtois, Carvajal, Ramos, Varane, Odriozola, Modric, Cruz, Casemiro, Bale, Benzema, Isco.
Mm.
And it was Celta Vigo. They won 2-1. And I gotta say, Madrid fans, boring.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
Boring.
Like no
Damn.
singing at all. Like
Just the ultras.
just all
Really?
people.
Wow.
At least in my section, because everyone's just kind of there watching the game.
Yeah.
And they have like this expectation. It's like, you better entertain me.
Yeah.
Mm.
They had that vibe.
Damn. Wow.
And so I was a little disappointed.
Mhm.
That definitely sealed my like about Madrid.
Yeah.
I got tickets to Liverpool, but then the pandemic hit.
Oh,
Mm,
shit.
tough.
So my only Premier League experience was like 2 years prior when I went to West Ham game.
West Ham, man.
West Ham was good.
Yeah.
Those are proper fans.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
'Cause-
always like the mid to low tier teams that are have so much passion for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
everyone's
'Cause-
there. They're there because they love the team.
Exactly.
They're there because they're like
'Cause they're
bandwagoning
successful,
a player, right?
Yeah. And I watched Lanzini play
Ooh.
Faguli. I was funny because the dudes next to me, they were just like, they hated Faguli.
Oh yeah.
They're like, why isn't he going up? They're like, that thick East London accent.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
But it was just like, but when I walked in, everyone just stared at me. They're like, what are you doing here? And
Really?
I was just waiting to get racially abused or something.
Yeah.
But then I realized that they're just like, no, we just don't get tourists in this section.
Ah, interesting.
And we're all locals. Everyone who sits here are local. They've
Yeah.
been coming for time.
Mhm.
And this is the year when they just moved from Upton Park to the Olympic Stadium.
Oh,
So I was
shit.
asking everyone, it's like, how do you like the move? They were like, we don't like it.
No.
It was more intimate. We were closer to the pitch. We
Mhm.
knew that if
Oh,
we
true.
said something and sang, it would influence the outcome.
Yeah.
And
Now
now
it's too big.
like for Olympic Stadium, I was close, but they were like, this, you could have been closer if it was at the old stadium. And I was like, oh, okay. So I felt like I missed out.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But it was fun. I mean, they played West Brom, and then West Brom equalized in the 95th minute.
Jeez.
And I remember they had subbed on Tom Carroll, and the entire stadium would just went, oh no.
Stop.
Hilariously enough, West Brom, I forget who scored,
Oh
but the
my
guy who
gosh.
scored for West Brom,
Mhm.
Tom Carroll was supposed to man mark him,
Mm-hmm.
but he was too slow to keep
No.
up.
Oh my god.
And so all the fans around me, he's like, you see? And I'm like, oh, I see. Then I left the stadium and there's a fight outside.
Stop.
shit!
Yo, I was like, I had the full Premier League experience.
Did you get involved?
Bro, I was in the middle of it. Like, I didn't want to be in the middle of it. Like, I was at a
It's
mall.
like trying to get out of the crowd. Like, excuse me,
Bro,
excuse me.
the worst part, I was wearing a burgundy jacket, so I looked like the fan.
Oh yeah.
So like, like this one dude was like 6'5", arguing
Uh-huh.
with 3 dudes like over there, and then at some point security's just kind of blocking him to control traffic, and then the security just like, all right, you guys can go now. I'm like, yo, they're just fighting, and then they
Do your
kind
job.
they kind of met at each other. I was in the middle. I'm like, oh no, oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so-
man.
That was a fun experience.
That's crazy.
That was a fun experience.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Barca Stadium, Camp Nou,
Oh, nice.
and it was live. It was live. They faced Villarreal.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it was a good game.
That's
it was
a good game.
And Lewandowski was playing. This was last couple months ago, October.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. I went to go watch. I went on a little soccer tour,
Oh, very nice.
footy
Yeah.
tour. So I went to. That was one of the games, and man, like, what a stadium, dude. What a
Yeah.
stadium.
Massive, eh?
And like you were saying, the Madrid fans weren't singing, bro. Barcelona's fans, everyone was singing.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh,
You
wow.
had like the ultra starting it.
Yeah.
But then like everyone just got involved, and everyone was up. Everyone was singing. I was like, this is what it's about, man.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps when I walked in. I was like, holy smokes.
Especially
That's
it's like
the best feeling, man.
it's like 90,000 people.
Yeah.
No? So it's
Yeah.
like
Huge
huge.
stadium, but you feel close.
Really? Eh?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We weren't too close. Like we were probably second to third tier, but it was really close still. I'm like
Yeah.
this is really good seats.
I think it's the way they have those stadiums designed, it's
Mhm.
like no matter where you are in the stadium, like you still feel like you're a part of
Yeah.
something.
It
like
was
you're
very,
part of the
very nice.
action.
Oh, that's cool.
And I
Especially
got-
when the fans are in it too.
Yeah, and I got to see the Camp Nou because now they're gonna be destroying and building a new one.
Oh yeah.
By 2024, I think.
I think 26 maybe.
26,
something
something like that.
Mm.
So they'll be playing from somewhere else. So, but thankfully, I got to see the Camp Nou before it gets.
Oh, wait, are
Done.
you a Barcelona fan?
Yeah,
Mm.
Oh yeah, but you're also a Barcelona
Yeah.
fan, right?
Mm.
And my brother as well.
Mm.
Oh shit.
3 Barcelonas.
The Barca boys.
And then he's Dortmund.
I've come to the wrong podcast.
He's Dortmund. His brother's United, and then the
United.
other guy, Chris, he's a Juventus fan.
Yeah.
So wait, what about these clubs that you guys made you support them?
Well, me personally, I was a big Ronaldinho fan growing up.
Oh yeah.
And so
Oh yeah.
fell in love with Ronaldinho. Played for Barca at the time. Fell in love with Barca, and
Easy choice.
yeah, easy. Then Messi came afterwards. How can you fall out of love with
Yeah.
the club?
Oh my
you know?
god, for
Yeah.
real.
Legit the same story. Just repeat it. Dino.
Yeah.
Dino was like,
He was different, man. Like he
And
encapsulated like entertaining
Mhm.
and like joyful football. You know what I mean?
I remember first time I saw him was 2002 World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember just thinking, this is the most fun player I've ever seen in my life.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I wasn't even that much into footy, but I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm about this guy.
exactly.
Yeah.
He has no haters. I don't think he does.
Yeah.
Can't.
Can't hate Ronaldinho. Bro.
No, he can't. If you hate on Ronaldinho, it's kind of like you're allowed to judge that person who doesn't like Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's something wrong
It's
with
like you hate football. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How'd you like
Yeah.
Dortmund? What made you fall in love with Dortmund?
For me, it was like early, like 2011, 2012. Klopp was just kind of coming to, like, he was rising up, and Lewandowski, Kuba, Götze,
Oh,
and then the
yeah.
next season, Marco Reus came, and that was it for me. Like once I saw him touch pitch, and he was just so talented, like on his day, and
Yeah.
that Champions League run they made when Lewandowski scored 4 past Madrid. Sorry,
Mm.
and
Sorry, Madrid.
it was just like it was just
remember
one
that
of those moments. I'm just like I don't know who these guys are. like you know what I mean? It was just like one of those teams like no one really knew a lot about them, and
Exactly.
it was like an underdog story, and it just made me like it just got me, and I was like I'm here. And then I remember there's even a game against Malaga. I don't know if you guys remember in the
that
Champions
was
League.
one
Oh yeah.
Isco was-
yeah.
And Isco was
still there,
at
yeah.
Malaga, and then
Yeah.
Malaga had the game like locked, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like are you kidding me? And Felipe Santana in like the 100 and
Yes.
something a minute,
I remember this game. Yeah.
he like taps it in,
Yes.
and he's going nuts. And for me, I remember watching that game on an illegal stream on my PC in my computer room,
Jeez.
and I was just like going nuts upstairs, and like that was like it's like a core moment for me. Like I remember like watching that game, and that was like one of those moments I was like, damn, like
Classic.
this is it, right?
Damn, Felipe
Yeah.
Santana, bro.
Yeah,
What a player.
yeah.
makes you fall in love.
Felipe Santana, man. He was talented, man. He's a talented
He was,
player, man.
No, Dortmund had good players. You went to a Dortmund game, no?
Yeah, I did.
What? You got to tell me this. You got to. Well, how was
Yeah.
that like?
It was a similar thing. Like we did a little Euro trip,
Yeah, he
and
kind of came. We went to go watch Milan Juve as well
Oh, wow.
we went together.
at
Yeah,
San Siro,
Oh my god, amazing.
and
my
then
favorite stadium. But go
yeah.
back to your story.
Yeah.
for me, like I don't know, that was like the highlight of like all the games. Like I did a Paris game, PSG versus Nice,
Oh, very good.
and then I did the Milan game versus Juve, and then the Dortmund Sevilla was Champions League,
Wow.
the second leg. And although it was like a 1-1, like for me, it was just like being in the stadium and like just surrounded by all the people, and it
Yeah.
was just like it felt so surreal to me. Like multiple points throughout the game. Like I was there watching the game, and I'm watching the players. I'm just like I can't believe like I'm here right now.
Here.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel real. Like I felt like I was watching like it on TV.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm just like Hummels is like right there, and it's like you
Yeah.
see the player right there, and you're just watching them, and you're just like it feels so surreal, and just like seeing the yellow wall just like jumping up and down.
That's
for,
what I
like,
wanna see.
90 minutes straight. They were just like going and going and going, and it was just like it was something different. It's like now I just have this itch. I guess I want to go again.
100%.
Yeah.
So
Same with
it's
me.
like
I-
once you go, you can't like it's hard to not want to go back.
It's just so easy to distinguish the type of football. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
you watch TFC here and you watch,
It's not the same.
it's like holy smokes, night and day. And then it's also not the same watching it live than watching it on TV.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, just you like, I didn't know like, you don't get to watch every player like they're playing when you're watching on TV. You see where the ball is.
Yeah,
Mm.
Over there, I'm watching like Lewandowski. I'm watching him hard. I'm like,
you're
I
watching
wanna see
Amrabat.
what he does off the ball. You see him making runs
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And you see him like these defenders, how they're all pushing up. Like I was talking, my friend was with me too. I'm like, you can tell the quality of professionalism these guys have, where the whole team could press all the way to the middle line, and once they lose the ball, they're all back.
The whole team, yeah.
But you don't notice that when you're watching TV because you're seeing the ball is.
Yeah.
And me watching that live, I'm like, wow, like these guys are true professionals in all of it. Like it's just crazy to see how these guys are so good at this sport,
Yeah.
and just the level.
That's how I felt when I went to Bayern Munich game recently in the middle of Oktoberfest.
Jeez, how's that?
Dude, I was at
Man, I was so
Oktoberfest.
down.
I was at Oktoberfest the night before. I didn't realize I could drink that much beer. It was just okay. Give you an idea. It was like it's for a liter of beer, which is only one size.
Mhm.
It's like 13 euros. So I thought, okay, for the amount of beer I'm getting and for the experience, decent price,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that means.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I went to the Munich game. I get a liter of beer because I saw the price.
Yeah.
It was 9 euros
Yeah.
shit.
for the same beer
Mhm.
for a liter. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a beer.
Yeah.
And I remember, as you were saying, I was like, I can't believe it. I'm here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even a
Yeah.
Bayern Munich fan. I got emotional. I'm like, this is TV stuff.
It's
you
just
know?
like the atmosphere. It's just something about it.
Yeah.
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 And also being there in Oktoberfest, which is a very Bavarian festival.
Mm-hmm.
Like half the crowd's wearing Lederhosens.
Yeah.
Were you?
I would have 100%.
Honestly, I thought about it, but then like I saw how much they cost.
Yeah, they're
They're
expensive.
not cheap, huh?
No, they're I went to Bayern Munich store
Mhm.
in like downtown, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And they're selling it for like 120 euros.
A
Really,
Bayern
eh?
Munich.
A Bayern Munich Lederhosen.
That's
Like-
pretty
like the
sick,
whole
though.
set?
You know,
That's
so-
pretty sick.
But that store was insane. They had like barbecues with Bayern Munich like logos on it and just
Wow.
like wines
Wow,
and
really?
beers.
Damn.
They had everything.
I
imaginable.
noticed that too. Like even when I went to like the Dortmund team store, they had like anything you can think of. They just slapped the
slap it.
logo on it. And I'm just like, Jesus, like they're really like just
doormat,
cashing in on
mugs,
the merch,
everything, bro.
everything.
I
I
noticed
got my
that too,
dog a
actually.
bowl, like a Dortmund bowl. He has no idea what it is, but hey,
It's this
he's
yellow
a fan
bowl.
now. Yeah, he's a fan now.
But like to your point where you're saying like when you watch it live, especially like some of the world's greatest players,
Mhm.
Yeah.
see him what they do off the ball.
Off the ball.
I realized how good Thomas Mueller is
Yeah.
Mm.
because you can only judge on camera based on what the camera wants you to see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But when I see him off the ball, I'm like, yo, this guy's really smart because
Like,
always going to pockets, one touch passes that always unlocks, the final third. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, you don't see this on TV.
Oh.
Like, this is really smart.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like even when Lewandowski, he was going to the he was pushing wide a lot. I'm like, why is this guy doing that? I'm watching. You're like, bro, this guy's pulling the defender with him,
Mhm.
Mhm.
creating so much space. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this guy's like, and they just do it because that's how they do it. They don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's just their instinct to do this.
Yeah.
And you just
100%.
realize like, bro, it's just crazy, man. Next level, man.
And it's especially when I was at the Munich game, what was cool was the fans' IQ was really
Mhm.
top notch. Like
Yeah.
they understand how the game should be played
Mhm.
and how the German style of football or Bavarian style of football ought to be played.
Right.
So whenever there's a player in Bayern Munich who's not doing that, they get upset. Okay, like
You're talking about the Davies, right?
yeah. So, by the way, Alfonso Davies is seriously loved by Bayern Munich fans. They really
That's
legitimately
crazy.
love
That's
him.
amazing.
But how can you not love him though? Like, come on.
He has an infectious
What's
personality.
what does
Exactly,
Mueller
right?
call him again?
Huh?
What does Mueller call him? Or
I forget. He has a nickname for him. I can't remember.
No, I don't know.
It's not freaking the fast thing, the fast guy.
Oh,
Roadrunner.
Yeah,
Roadrunner.
Roadrunner. Roadrunner.
Roadrunner. Roadrunner.
Oh yeah, watching him sprint in person, you're like, oh okay, I get it. You know?
Yeah.
And there's this one, there's one moment where he's inside the box, and Jamal Musiala's in the middle, and Musiala's surrounded by like 3-4 defenders, and Fonzie, all he had was just him and the keeper in front, maybe like 10, 15 yards away. So not
Mhm.
that far, but not that close.
Right.
So anyone would do is try to shoot that ball far post.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of doing that, Fonzie tries to square it to Musiala, but it gets intercepted because it's surrounded by like 3 or 4 defenders.
Yeah.
And the entire, I've never seen 60,000 people groan and get upset. They're like, why didn't you shoot? You wasted a good opportunity there. Or there were moments where like, if a guy took a shot when he should have passed, you know, stuff like that, were just to keep the ball moving.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the IQ here is really good. Like everybody is in sync.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a guy behind me who is a Bayer Leverkusen fan. That's what he played. He starts singing Leverkusen songs, and I never seen 30 people just dead
Turn at
stare, just
turn
turn
around?
like boom, and I was like, oh my god,
Just swearing at him.
Yeah.
not even swear,
No? Just death stare.
death stare, and I was like, whoa, what just happened? And,
Man, you should have been at we went to go watch the Manchester Derby game.
no way.
I went to go watch, me, my brother, and a friend. That was nuts.
Oh, I can imagine.
Remind us the score.
Yeah.
That was, it was what, 9?
9.
No, sorry, 6.
Six.
6-3. 6-3.
6-3 for
Yeah.
who?
For City.
City.
Wait, how long ago was this?
October.
Wait, just this battle.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Where
yeah.
Haaland scored a hat trick and Foden scored a
Foden.
hat trick.
Yes.
And
Okay,
Ronaldo
now-
didn't play
wait,
at all.
you were there?
I was there.
No way. Okay,
I
awesome.
got to live that moment. It was crazy. But man, so you're talking about those fans and how like I saw a Leverkusen player
Yeah.
fan. You couldn't wear a Man U jersey.
Oh my god.
It's scary. It's crazy.
Did they
over
give
there.
you a rule like don't wear red?
Bro, I wore a jersey. I wore a Man U jersey, but I wore it under like a flannel or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And once you walk into the stadium, it's not even really not the stadium. Once you walk into like what's it called? The Etihad's very nice.
Yeah.
It's like its own little like city type of thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
You get off the subway and like your own. It's like its own city. Like the subway has a stop. It's the Etihad stop.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a lot of places in London have that. In England have that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
London, there's an Emirates stop, and
Yeah.
there's like a Chelsea one as well.
Even in Milan.
And Milan as well has a stop for them.
Yeah.
So you come off and it's its own little like city complex type of thing. So
Very
you get
cool.
off, we walk in, we walk upstairs, and the guards are there, and they see the shirt, like you. They point at me like you. You gotta cover that, or you have to go to the section where the menu guys are.
Oh.
So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I don't have those tickets because
Yeah.
those tickets are for
For them.
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
Because we bought secondhand tickets
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
that are in the Man City section,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, I'm not gonna go over there.
Cover
now.
up
So I
that
just
flannel.
covered it. I covered it, and thank God I did. Because
Oh.
once we sat down, holy
Relentless.
smokes, man, relentless. They were yelling and screaming at all the Man U supporters over there. There's one guy, he had his phone. All he did, this guy was, he was taking video of the whole field. And once he went to the Man U supporters, one guy from right beside me was like, "What the fuck are you taking a fucking video of those guys?" Like legit. He's like, "Bro, I'm just taking a video of the thing." Like they hate each other.
Oh,
That's
I love
crazy.
that. I love
It
that.
was crazy, man. There was like, I was beside a father and his son was right beside him,
Yeah.
and they're both swearing, "Fucking hell!" This guy's like 6 years old, probably, and he just
That's my
swearing.
son.
Bro, legit. He's like, this me fucking son, I love you.
Milad.
Milan.
Milan.
He's like telling him, "Fuck man, you're right." He's like, yeah.
This is indoctrination. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, this kid's gonna be messed up
very
when he's
toxic.
older. But you can tell, you can feel the passion, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like here, man.
No,
It's not like here.
You know, like maybe it's still the same, but I used to see it a lot as a kid when I used to go to Canadians games. I didn't go too much. Whenever I did, there was like a passion among Canadians fans that was just like very palpable. That was kind of scary at times. Like the last big game I watched was Montreal versus Boston. That was so much fun
Yeah.
because like the banter was really good. It never got violent,
Okay.
but the Boston fans were like, "We know the rules. You banter at us, we banter back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I remember actually my first MLS game that I watched live, Saputo Stadium, TFC versus Montreal.
Oh,
This is the first year that Giovinco came
4-1
to TFC.
derby.
Yeah, it was like the first year that Giovinco was there. There was Josie Altidore as well,
Mhm.
Michael
Yeah.
Bradley,
Mhm.
and honestly, those are the 3 big names. I think Osorio was there, Larea was there, Bono was in nets, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and then Montreal we had Drogba. Drogba was still there. Piatti was was starting as well. Those are the only 2 big names I can remember right now. Laura Simon was defense, at center back, and my girlfriend at the time, well, my ex, her brother-in-law is a big TFC fan, or just a
Oh,
big
shit.
Toronto fan. He's from Toronto, so he's a
Okay.
fan of all the teams.
Mhm.
So he bought 4 tickets for this derby match.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Do you want to come?" And I'm like, "I can't say no, but I don't want to sit with TFC fans." He's like, "Well, you don't have a choice." I'm like, "All right, fine." So I sat with the TFC fans, they were loud, they were obnoxious. I hated them, but I love the fact that they were being like this.
Yeah.
This is what it's about.
That's what
Exactly,
it's about.
bro.
Exactly.
And what happened was, I'm sitting at the back seat, and behind us is sort of like the VIP section, and there's dudes. This is the time when Drogba had his controversy about embezzling money from his donation. I don't know if you guys know about that.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I don't want to disrespect the legend, but like allegedly. And then the TFC fans were making songs about that. It's like Drogba, where's the money for the African children you stole it? Stuff like that. They're going crazy, man. And the Montreal fans behind us, who look thuggish, were really upset.
Yeah.
They're like, "What'd you say? What'd you say? Don't disrespect." And then they're going back and forth. And all I see is this dude just lift the chair and about to like toss it.
No way.
He was lifting it, but his boys were holding him back because the cops are there staring at him. It was like, the
Yeah.
cops are kind of like, "I dare you to do it.
Ready to do it. Yeah.
Do it.
They're
do
just
it, do it."
waiting. Like, go ahead.
That was
Got
the
the cuffs ready.
no. But honestly, that was the last time I saw a 401 derby that intense. It was not even like playoffs.
No way.
Oh,
It was-
just one more game.
I mean, it was a great game. Montreal lost 2-1.
Haha.
I was there just dying on the inside. I'm like,
Good game, good game.
but like it was like even like I remember this one Toronto. Oh, he's such an asshole. This guy. Like there was kids just walking past him, and he was
Yeah.
drunk, and he's
Oh
going,
my
and
god. It's belligerent.
he was just like, "Fuck you, fuck you."
No.
Even to the kids. like,
kids.
It's like, "Your city is shit. You suck."
Oh
and then
God.
he goes to one guy. He says it to one guy, and then that one guy was like, "Bro, I'm from Toronto. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing all of us."
That's
And
crazy.
he was like, "You suck too." And he just walked away. And at the same time, like I had friends from Montreal who live in Toronto. They
Yeah.
went to Impact at the time. Impact. They went to an Impact game when they were here, and they were sitting with the Impact fans. And the Impact fans were throwing bottles and like garbage at the nearby Toronto fans.
Oh my
Mm.
god.
Because there's no barrier, right?
No.
yeah.
And my friend was like, "So this is what your soccer fans are like?" I'm like, "Yeah." Unfortunately, yeah. He was like, "Do you know they're throwing at kids, right?" I'm like, "That's not okay." I was like, "I'm not celebrating it." But
I don't
it's-
condone that.
but it is what it is. Like that's
Yeah.
just how people are. I was like,
Oh my god.
but it's good and bad. Like I want to see that passion in North America,
Mhm.
but obviously like maybe a little more tamed towards the children and
Yeah.
the neutrals.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
like if it's a other like grown men, then I'm like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I think you're gonna start to see more passion. Now that Canada's in the World Cup,
Oh yeah.
a lot more eyes in this Canadian team. Next thing you know, after the World Cup's done, okay, I like soccer now. What can I do? What can I watch?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think this is definitely a stepping stone.
Yeah.
To growing MLS, growing football in Canada, the CPL as well is really good as well.
Yeah.
And man, soon enough, man, 2026, it's gonna grow even more, right?
Yeah, man.
I have a question. Did you guys play hockey growing up?
He was a hockey guy before.
Just
Yeah.
street hockey,
Dude,
just
we
on the
played,
street.
we
Oh,
played,
street hockey.
heavy
Yeah.
street hockey.
We played a lot of street hockey, that's for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
same, but like not ice hockey, right?
No,
I
I
can't
can't
skate
skate.
well.
I can barely skate.
Yeah. Okay, same.
No, my parents are South American, so
Yeah,
That makes sense.
it's
yeah.
football first. Football.
exactly.
Football. Yeah.
That's the first and only thing.
For sure,
Yeah,
bro.
and that's how we started. We played street hockey and
Yeah.
street footy, and then when we got old enough, we started taking adventures to the nearest pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
We just
Once you can
started
start driving
getting more
or
into
biking.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I think it's like that. It was kind of like that for me too when I was in elementary school. I went to a French elementary school, so it was
Mhm.
just hockey or nothing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was playing a lot of street hockey, and I was pretty good. But then like my parents never enrolled me to ice hockey because they're like, that's just way too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the equipment, everything.
It's so
Yeah.
expensive.
So expensive.
So I tried explaining to people like non-Canadians because they assume we all play ice hockey. I was
Mhm.
like, you understand how expensive the sport is? It's like it's not for everyone.
Exactly.
So I always try to evangelize to people. I was like, play soccer. All you need is a ball.
Exactly.
Wear whatever shoes you want. Just get a ball for like
Mhm.
$10 and you're good. And just like another friend and you're chill.
That's it.
Yeah. So I'm always trying to promote I've always tried to promote the sport that way to people. I
Yeah.
was like,
Mhm.
it's just cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a lot cheaper. Just buy a ball. You don't even need soccer shoes. Just wear any
Yeah.
Yeah.
flat shoe.
And I think you're starting to see that shift now too, like in Canada, like where hockey is obviously still very prominent.
yeah, in the main
But I
sport,
think soccer is starting to slowly take over as like the biggest sport in the country. And I think
Yeah.
like by the time it's 2026 and the World Cup's here, I think soccer is going to by far be the biggest sport in the country.
Hopefully.
Because I think like, if you're looking at kids now, it's like, everyone's following footy.
Yeah.
More and more people are getting into it and they're becoming passionate about it, and they're picking their team and they're following it. And now with the Canadian national team,
Mm-hmm.
being relevant and, playing in the World Cup
Playing in Europe.
and having like those qualifying games that was drawing so much attention and people were getting hyped. I think now that's going to just accelerate that process. I think like everyone was thinking by 2026, that's when,
It's going to start.
it's going to start. But I
Yeah.
think, we're ahead of schedule,
Yeah.
right? I think everyone's involved now and we're seeing that, like I think like 4.3 million people were watching the
Really? Yeah? Those
the
are the
game,
numbers?
the Canada-Belgium game or something like
It's gonna
that.
be
And,
more this game.
4.3.
and that was
Jeez.
and that was that was more than like the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup final,
100%.
Wow,
right?
man.
So it's like,
Jeez, man.
you can see that like, people are starting to become more involved and into it. So it's gonna be good.
And a big reason for that is because we're so multicultural here in
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, it's interesting because I was having this conversation with my friend. Shout out to Julie McKenzie. He writes for the Athletic. Works for Calgary Flames now.
Oh,
That's
shit.
sick.
Good for you, man. I'm
Shout
proud of you. So we had this conversation. What he noticed was the problem with ice hockey here is that it's very regionalized.
Mm.
So if let's say Calgary Flames make it to the Stanley Cup final, only Calgarians
I'm going to watch that.
or Albertans exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
So there's no like united thing,
Yeah.
which I guess is the same as footy in England. United fans from Manchester,
Mhm.
for the most part, are gonna watch United, right?
Mhm.
And you're saying like if the Montreal Canadiens make it that far, only Montreal and perhaps the rest of Quebec will watch it.
Yeah.
Whereas with footy, it doesn't seem to have that yet. I think it will once things get better. Then it'll become a little more regionalized. I believe things grow big, then they expand, and they kind of distill back to smaller things
Mhm.
with
Yeah.
more intense numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But with this Canada team, what I love the most for me is that whenever I played footy growing up, in terms of diversity, that's what it looked like for
Yeah.
me growing up playing
Exactly.
footy.
Agreed. Yeah.
So when I
100%.
see that, I'm like, this is just, to me, that's normal.
Yeah.
It's Canada.
Like this is Canada,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Especially if you grew up in an urban environment. That's to me, that's what footy was like growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether that was my teammates or the people I played against, it was always like that. So it was, it's nice to see finally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the culture, right? At the end of the day, like, so many more people are getting involved with it, and, content creators and people starting, groups and initiatives to get people more engaged and excited about the sport and getting people more involved. Like you guys with Darby, like one thing I was always curious, like how did that start? Like how did you get involved with Darby and how did that all come together?
Where do I start? I sent them an email thinking that they were like a big publication.
Yeah.
Taco makes fun of me for this. So my buddy Carabel, another shout out. He's not a footy fan at all,
Mm.
but he helped me start my podcast, Soccer Pilgrim.
Uh-huh.
He helped me start that, and then he was like, "Hey, I found this really cool group on Instagram." He knew AK. They already known each other, but like they were acquaintances. He's like, "Why don't you give them a follow? And why don't you send me an email? They have a podcast. Maybe it'll be good for both of you to like come together."
Collab or something.
Yeah, and I just said, "Hey, I'm interested in what you guys do. Is there any way I can help you guys out? I noticed you have a podcast. Maybe I can help you with the podcast stuff." And then like a few days later, I sent this really official email.
Yeah.
To whom it may concern.
I was like applying to a corporate job or something. And they emailed back. They're like, "Hey, like we love your vibe. We checked out your podcast. We checked out your Instagram page. Like my Instagram page is very personal. Like I just share what I love on it." And they were like, "Yeah, welcome aboard. That's it."
Really, eh?
It-
Just
even-
like that?
Pretty much. Like Taco was like, "Hey, let's do a Zoom meeting. Let's talk about it." They want to just get to know me. And almost immediately they were like, "We like what you're about. I can tell that you genuinely love this, and we want more people like you on our team."
Oh,
And I was like, "Yeah, man, tell me what you need to do. I'll do it." And that's pretty much it. And it's already been 2 years, and it's kind of weird. It doesn't feel like 2 years,
yeah.
All right.
you know. And but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thank you.
So what's like your main, I guess, thing that you do for them?
So it was first was the podcast.
Yeah.
But if I got to be honest, like it's kind of taken a bit of the back burner because we've just been busy with the magazine itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also all of us have full-time jobs outside of this.
Of course. All of us do, yeah.
Yeah. Also, like there's just been a lot that's been happening, and I really want to get back into the podcast. But right now, Tug was in Qatar shooting, so that doesn't help at all
Yeah.
with the podcast. Like, good for him. I'm not complaining, but
Of
it's
course.
just, it is what it is. So I mostly deal with the podcast, and then I also write. So I
Yeah.
wrote a story in this one about the ringleaders,
Uh-huh.
Angelo Destunis.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the next edition, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Anyway,
Oh
Well,
shit!
say it for later.
Exclusive.
Tell us when it's off. When we're off air.
Yeah,
Off
yeah.
the record.
all I could say, I don't think it's a big deal. I won't say the name, but I interviewed a pro player who's playing for Canada,
Oh shit!
who's
Okay.
on the starting lineup.
Oh shit!
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just kind of wrote a story, and what I liked about his story is what he told me once we stopped the interview. He was like, "By the way, everyone on this team has my story.
Really? Eh?
Like, we're not supposed to be here."
Damn.
Kind of like the dudes who almost always got cut or about to get cut,
Yeah.
but for whatever reason they didn't. And it's like it's fascinating where it's an underdog story. That's what I
Yeah.
like.
That's dope.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
Let us know in the comments who you guys think this player is.
I think
Let's see what people guess.
Yeah.
But
Defender, midfielder.
Hey,
That's too much information.
You're gonna give it away. But I think that's like the whole vibe of this Canada team. It's like they really have that. Even in qualifying, I think they had that underdog
story, yeah.
Yeah.
that underdog,
Yeah.
like that chip on their shoulder. Like no one believes in us. Like they don't think we can do it. And
Mhm.
I think that's really why there's so much camaraderie within the team.
Mhm.
It's like because everyone has that same story, whether it's like from a playing perspective or like their upbringing or what brought them to soccer or footy. And it's like when a team has that one common thing that brings them together, it really shows that unity. And I think that's what you see with the Canada team. And even though like if you're looking at that team on paper, you might not think, oh, they might not be able to do it, but you saw it against Belgium.
oh yeah,
Right? Like
what a game.
no one expected Canada to go out and dominate Belgium for
Dominating.
No one did, bro.
at least 60 minutes of the game.
They were the better team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I fully expected to okay, we're going to sit back. Maybe we'll hit them on the counter.
Exactly.
Belgium are going to be stringing passes all game and we're going to have to defend well. But I was watching the game and it was like 15 minutes in and I was like, have Belgium even touched the ball yet?
Yeah,
Crazy.
Like
It
we're all over them,
crazy.
the penalty early. And it's like, it's amazing to see how,
Kevin De Bruyne was awful.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
He
off.
sucked that game.
Mhm.
But how
he
did you guys
couldn't
think-
make a pass.
No, he couldn't. He was just awful. I respected his man of the match interview.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
was self-aware. He was like, I don't deserve this.
Yeah, like I just got this because of my name.
That's it. But because of that, I loved him even more.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I respect you even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So he knows. He understands. It's like it wasn't fair. Like we were so dominant.
I know, it was
Yes.
crazy.
It was crazy.
Because like
man.
Canada hasn't faced like a top like European
Uh-huh.
team yet,
Yeah.
right? And like Belgium was that first test,
and the top three,
and they played well, bro.
They played well.
third best country.
Second.
FIFA
which
second.
By
doesn't make
FIFA
sense.
rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
whatever
make
But
reason.
sense.
still, like Canada were dominating that.
Yeah,
Can you
man.
who? If me saying this now, would you guys think I'll be telling the truth? No.
No, bro.
You're waffling. That's what I would think.
Oh my gosh, bro! Like we were dominant. Look
Yeah.
at how we played. Our midfield was amazing. I think the best was our defense.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro! Miller. Oh my gosh.
Come on,
Solid,
Miller.
bro.
Come on,
Solid.
Miller. Oh my god.
As a Montreal fan, I'm happy they're playing well, but I know it means that they're gone.
Yeah.
I'm so
Someone's
sad.
gonna come calling for
It's
them.
like bittersweet, dude.
Bittersweet
Yeah.
for sure.
Like
man.
Alistair Johnson with Celtic.
Uh-huh.
Ismail Kone he's too good to stay.
Yeah.
Mihalovic is already gone. And now like Kamal Miller I think is bouncing.
I think he is. He
Yeah.
played an amazing
That game like itself, like we all knew, like watching the qualifiers, like he has that quality, but like seeing him in that game where you're against a top side like Belgium, and like he held his own, he was
Yeah,
composed, and
100%.
he had those big tackles, those big.
He wasn't
moments.
scared to go in, slide tackle. Like,
Yes.
There was times like, man, like frick.
I think he had that one block on Batshuayi when like
Yeah,
they had that
exactly.
they had a good counter attack and
Yeah.
the ball shifted over to Batshuayi and he had the shot right in front of goal and boom, Miller was
Puts
there.
his body in. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
That was
And
crazy, man. Even Victoria, I was going into the match, man. This might be like our only issue in the back line.
He was
his
great.
pace, but he was
Yeah, man. It was
he
solid.
was so controlling.
Experienced, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
experienced. He brought the tempo down
yes.
a lot. When he got the ball, he relaxed it. And I'm like, I like this.
Yeah.
He played it very well. And he knew where to be at all times.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was convinced. And to me, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, now the world is gonna respect us.
Yeah.
Which I think they do.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
Hope so, right?
Yeah. But I mean, okay, I'm gonna shift a little bit, but like I'm curious about you guys. How'd you guys start? Like how'd you guys like as a footy culture, as a podcast, how'd you guys start?
We've known each other for years. We've been friends since elementary school,
Yeah, like grade.
grade 3-ish.
You guys might have been
something
in
like
grade
that.
3, I might have been in grade 2.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Wow.
And we all live in the same.
Yeah, we all
street.
live on the same street.
Are you
We all live
serious?
here.
Yeah.
we
Oh
all
my
live
god,
here.
amazing.
Yeah.
So one day I went going out to get my mail, and I saw him outside playing soccer. To join, and then that's how it kind of grew up. We've always been playing footy outside, just over here every day. We'd always be like, "Hey, we're meeting up at the green box. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
meet up at the green box." And we go to the green box. We play soccer, and
Oh, it's
I don't know. Pardon?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like it just happened naturally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we all had a love for the sport. We all had a group message, a group chat, and we just talk about soccer anyways. And we're like, you know what? The pandemic's starting. You know, like, frick, man, what do we do now? Let's start something. You know, we haven't. Let's stick together.
Yeah.
Let's start something. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like, man, let's do something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
like,
kind
why
of
not, right?
Like I remember it initially started with like it was like a vintage football account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were posting like vintage kits. We were
Oh,
posting
very
like
cool.
just like all vintage stuff, and that was like I guess like what we were going for. We thought, oh, it'd be cool. Like, you know, maybe we can
true.
like start selling vintage kits.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like vintage kits are cool. Like there's a demand for it. Like vintage clothing is coming in, and then we just started posting stuff on Instagram. And then I remember this vividly. I remember Jay DMing us, and he's like, "I want in," and we're just like, "What?" Like we don't even know what this like what we're doing. But then that's really when I think like we took a turn and we realized like let's start doing like a podcast. And I know you always wanted to start a podcast, like
Yeah.
Because like we were talking about it for a while and like nothing was like really coming like into play,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it's kind of just like happened, right?
It's like, fuck, man. Like,
Yeah.
if we don't do it now, we're not gonna do it ever.
just,
fair.
Dave just bought the machine. He's like, we have this machine now. We got to start doing it. And we just kind of started
Maybe
like
right here.
figuring out how to do it. And you know, we were awkward as hell the first
Oh,
like
we always would be
yeah.
awkward.
few episodes. Like
Yeah.
you know, our camera angles were off. There was like
Mhm.
no lighting, and it's
Yeah.
like just kind of slowly progressed. And
But that's how it starts. You know, if you're not gonna be the best at the thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, you
start
learn as you
off.
go, right?
You learn as you go. No,
You learn
I
as you
I
go.
agree. I'm the same way with like when I started my own podcast, it was like just audio. I didn't know how to work the visuals.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me just get good at this
Right.
first. It was easy because I was just doing it by myself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just like research a topic and just go into it.
Yeah.
But then I started getting guests and I forgot I should remember who my first guest was. Oh no, I think it was it was AK Tugwa. It was AK Tugwa.
Okay. Okay.
But like at this point I've already done like a handful of Derby cast episodes, so it was
Mhm.
just like just normal. But I feel like same was like pandemic, what am I gonna do?
Uh-huh.
And then a lot of my friends are like, you have a good voice, why don't you just use it?
Mhm.
And I'm like, all right, fine, fair enough.
You do have a good voice.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, it was and also a lot of my friends who are not footy fans, they're like,
mhm.
you always talk about it. Why don't you just do something with it?
Yeah.
Almost like I annoyed them too much.
It's the same thing with us, man. We talked about it so
yeah,
much.
like in a group chat, like all the
Group chat,
time.
even in high school, like we go get together. Did you all watch the game? Did you watch the game? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
the only thing we thought of
Yeah.
in our heads was just footy.
Well, that's it. And it was like same with me. It was like that's all I could think about. And it got to a point even the girls I would date, they were not footy fans. And by the
Get
end of it,
annoyed.
they were,
they're either annoyed or they're like, I know too much about this because of her.
yeah.
Like,
I
Why do
remember
I
this-
know that Ronaldo did this?
Yeah.
I remember this one time I got into a fight with my ex. She was like, I want to hang out tonight. I'm like, I can't. It's El Clasico.
Nah.
That's fair. That's.
But she's got to understand that. Like that's
hard.
yeah.
No, she didn't. She was upset. She's like, I don't care.
She wasn't the one then.
Like, I'm your.
Hey.
That's why she's your ex.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Yeah, like even to this day, like her and I were still friends. And I've
Yeah.
heard her bring up that story. She was like, yeah, I still think you're dumb for that. And I'm like, oh, I don't get it.
Footy comes first.
Yeah.
She's out of pocket for that. Out of pocket for that.
But yeah, man, it's like just now we're into like a spot where like we just want to grow the culture now of footy.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I think Derby's in the same spot, right? Like it's just like
Yeah.
growing football here in Canada is what we want to do, and I think any way we can do that, let's do it.
Yeah.
know?
Like when I started my podcast, I'm wearing La Victoire.
Aha.
Yes.
Shout out.
There you go. Yeah, shout out to Ivan. I remember posting a few of my episodes online on Instagram,
Mhm.
and he DM'd me out of nowhere. I had no idea who he was. Like I saw his following, I saw what he did. I kind of researched him. I'm like, okay, this guy's legit. It's not like some spam or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started talking to him, I realized that he was on that same vibe, except he'd been working in the industry. He worked for the
Uh-huh.
Impact for some time,
Oh,
shit.
and he just wanted, this thing to grow across Canada.
Mhm.
So he was just collecting all of these, let's call it content creators, storytellers, or whatnot in
Yeah.
Montreal first, in Quebec, then sort of expand throughout Canada.
Yeah.
And he just really wants to create this community. And I remember when he reached out to me and I understand what he was doing, I was like, oh, okay, what I'm doing is not crazy. Like there's a lot of people who feel the same
Yeah.
way.
Mhm.
Exactly.
It's like we're kind of tired of watching American production or British productions or
Yeah.
whatnot. We want to make our own
Exactly.
Mhm.
Canadian voices that resonate with Canadians.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we want those Americans and British people to understand how we view the sport
Exactly.
because we speak the same language. And it's because now, well, you guys wouldn't know, but like in Montreal, the people from France are becoming fascinated with what's happening in Montreal.
Really?
So like a lot of French YouTubers who do footy coming to Montreal and exploring it here.
Wow.
Here in Montreal.
That's crazy. That's
So
sick.
exactly. So I was like, okay, so there is some legitimacy to what we're doing here.
Huh.
So it inspires me. That's on the French side. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe I could do it in English side. So
And that just keeps
Dope.
that keeps like putting fire to the fuel to the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like hearing all those stories.
that's it. Exactly.
It's just crazy, and like to think that there's so many people that have the same kind of mentality or vision. We just want to grow culture, the footy culture here in Canada, right? So kudos to Darby, kudos to you and all you're doing as well.
Thank you.
I want to know, how did the soccer pilgrim?
Yeah, how did that
come-
name
Yeah.
come?
Oh, wait, okay. Is it really that good a name?
I like
I
it.
love
I
it.
love it.
I like
I
it.
love
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very unique, and it's
Mhm.
like I think it's one of those things where it's like what does it mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
okay.
how did he come up with it? Like I think like just interesting to know like like what your perception of that name, because it can be like so many things. Like I'm just
Yeah.
curious on how you thought of it and like what it means to you.
Well, I have a master's in religion. I don't know if you guys know that, but like I've studied religion in Cégep, which is, I don't know if you guys know, it's like in Quebec education. We stop at grade 11.
Okay.
Grade 12 and 13 is pre-university. In England, they call it college.
Yeah.
And so we do 2 years of that. And then that's when I took my first religion class. And I was obsessed with studying religion.
Oh, shit.
Then I did my bachelor's in religion at Concordia University. Then I did my master's.
Mhm.
And during my bachelor's, I realized that religion as a definition is kind of superfluous.
Mm-hmm.
It can really mean anything because there's a lack of definition for religion.
Right.
I don't want to get into that. That's way I can. But basically, like my master thesis, I don't mean to brag. I just like
Yeah.
No,
I just
of
want
course, bro.
to display like my train of thought.
Go
And
for
it's,
it.
Of course, man.
so my master thesis was like on video games.
Mm-hmm.
So like apocalypse and post-apocalyptic themes in video games, and why does that resonate?
Right.
And during that time, I was either going to be that or religion and football.
Mm-hmm.
And my teachers were like, that's a little too obvious, don't do that.
Right.
But while writing this video game thing, which I love, I kept thinking about footy and putting those theories into footy. And when I was younger, I used to be a missionary. So every time I do these mission trips, either indigenous reservations or in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I never really talked about Jesus. I just played footy. And that's how I build connections with these people.
Yeah.
It's crazy though, yeah.
And I guess that's where pilgrim came about, because a pilgrim travels to these religious sites.
Yeah.
But the thing is that every religious site is influenced by the local culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to a church in, let's say, Portugal, a Catholic church in Portugal is not the same as a Catholic church in Germany
No.
or a Catholic church in France
Of course.
or in Italy. It all changes because it
Mhm.
adapts with the culture. And that's how I saw football. Or whenever I go to different cultures and different stadiums and
It's true.
or just play pickup with random strangers,
Mhm.
I realized they all play the same thing, but they do it different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Soccer Pilgrim came about, because I was observing these things. So I was treating this football as like a real religion at play.
Yeah.
And it made my love for football that more enriching.
Yeah.
So like ever since then, I was like, I'm hooked. Like I love this. Like, especially when I treated, like now I'm trying to come up with a new season of the podcast
Yeah.
where I'm treating footy as like a real religion.
Right.
Like
That's
I'm taking it
sick.
seriously as a religion.
That's sick.
And how would I break it down as like academic?
Uh-huh.
And I've been writing this
That's
the
so
last
sick.
2 weeks, and it's been so much fun for me.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. And
dope.
yeah, so that's how Soccer Pilgrim came about, because it's like I view myself as a pilgrim visiting these pilgrimage sites. So yeah, that's how it.
That's sick.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
And,
dope.
It's
And
true though. It's like it's a different style everywhere you go.
Yeah.
It's not one the same here, same here. It's like,
Mhm.
and it's beautiful to see that every place has their unique style of footy
Yeah.
and religion, as you would say, right?
Yeah,
It's a great perspective. It's like your two passions kind of
Colliding.
exactly. Like I think once I realized that, let's say, Korean Christianity wasn't the same as like I don't know, like French Canadian
Yeah.
Christianity, I was like, it's the same thing but different. It's like that joke. What was it from that movie? The Interview. Same but different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of that. Like
Right.
it's same but different.
yeah, yeah.
But you know, that's it. It's like for me, it's always like, if this is a global sport, how do you understand humanity? If it's not through religion, that perhaps football can provide something.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
And look, it's like the World Cup is bringing everyone together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as a religion.
That's what it's
Because
meant to do.
football, to a lot of people, you could say is a religion, right?
Exactly.
They follow their favorite team. They have a favorite player.
Mhm.
They idolize these
Uh-huh.
teams and players. They wake up to watch their
Mhm.
team play, to watch
Yeah.
their favorite player
Yeah.
play.
And it's crazy. Like, I could be a Barcelona fan. You could be a Madridista. But then when Spain plays, we're together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're all one.
Yeah.
You might hate my guts when if I'm a Man U fan and you're a Man City fan, I might fucking hate you.
Yeah.
But once England plays, we're together.
Yeah.
And no one's saying, "Oh, you're a Man U fan? Oh, I fucking hate you." No, we're all English.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all Spanish. We're all Canadian.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy to see how football can bring those polar opposites together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like for me, it's like the invisible always fascinates me.
Mm-hmm.
Like football, like you could physically manipulate and
Mhm.
play,
Mhm.
but the emotions of it is invisible.
Right.
Why does that make you crazy? In the
Yeah.
best way possible.
Mm.
Like I'm not saying religious people are crazy. I mean, if you're a hardcore atheist, but I'm just saying like you can't see God,
Yeah.
you can't smell him. You could probably hear him. Depends on but like it's like the invisible influences
It's
so
there.
much. It's
Mm.
there, and
Yeah.
it's that always fascinated me. That's why I loved studying religion because
Mm-hmm.
I was like I grew up religious. Like why did this thing dominate my life for so long?
Mhm.
So I want to study it, and then now I'm at a point where football has dominated my life for so long. I want to study that too.
Mhm.
So it's kind
I
of
like that. That's sick.
yeah. I mean, again, soccer pilgrim. I just thought it flowed better,
Yeah.
and I liked the word pilgrim, so I was like, all right, just put those two.
It
things
does
together.
flow nicely.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with that word.
Crazy. That's crazy, man. Like we're saying, Canada, it's growing here. We got one game on Sunday
Yeah,
against Croatia.
yeah.
How do you think we fared?
Yeah, man. How do you think we can do as one,
Oh,
cohesive
man.
unit, man?
I think-
Canada.
And can we make it out of the group?
I think so.
Yeah? You think so?
I think so. I think after watching that Belgium game,
Uh-huh.
I feel very confident.
Mm-hmm.
Because Croatia's a great team, but like I feel like since Mandzukic is not there anymore, I think the team's changed.
Mm.
They lack that focal point.
Yeah.
Because like that 2018 Croatia team was perfect.
Yeah.
Really was perfect, except the problem they had is a lack of bench. They didn't have a good bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, yeah, Kovacic is a good player, but like you need 10 more Kovacic's to
For sure.
that's the
replenish.
thing, man.
So my only concern of this Croatia is probably Modric,
Mhm.
but seeing how bad Kevin De Bruyne played
Yeah.
Man.
and Canada played very physical,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I feel like the John Herman comment kind of galvanized this.
Did you
Yeah,
see what
maybe a
happened?
little
Yeah.
bit.
It kind of motivated them.
See, there's a
Mhm.
newspaper in Croatia and what
Yeah.
they posted. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I like that. It's kind of like it's
But you want like I understand what
good
what he
banter.
did, but it's good as well because if I like to face if I'm doing something and I'm facing someone at something, I want them to be at their best as well.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
Because then I will really show myself that if I beat this guy, I'm the best. Like I'm
Yes.
better than you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not because you're injured. It's not because you had something wrong. I beat you fair and square,
Mm.
and that's what I like. Why he said that. Like I want Croatia to come in fiery and strong and hard
Mhm.
because then we're gonna go the same thing, and then we'll really see how good we are. And
Yeah.
I like what he did there.
I agree.
People are saying, "Oh, he shouldn't have done." Like, man, now they're gonna be better. Like, so what?
I don't understand people who say that.
Everyone on I don't want to say anyone. I don't want
The media.
The media were saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, it was wrong for him to say that. He
Nah,
should.
come on.
He
No.
they're saying how he should have brought. He should have. Why was he saying to them in the middle of the pitch? He should have brought them to the change room. I'm like, are you crazy? They're in Qatar for the World Cup. You're gonna bring all these guys to a change room.
Right?
Yeah.
You're in the middle of the stadium. If I was John Herbert, I'd do the exact same thing.
Exactly.
Look where you guys are. We're in the middle of the fucking stadium. We just faced Belgium here in this freaking field,
Mhm.
and we're gonna fuck Croatia next.
Yes.
That's it, bro.
What's better environment to be in the middle of a soccer field?
And the people who had a problem with those comments have never been in a competitive environment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They don't get it.
Exactly.
They don't,
Because like for me, it's like I've been in playoff situations at the most amateur level.
right?
Mhm.
Where if I know the next team I'm playing is the best in the league, you have to have that mentality.
For sure.
Then why play?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay. So you all support Canada, of course.
Uh-huh.
You're Brazil, Ecuador. I know you're like Italian, Croatia. Well, Italy.
Italy. Say Italy.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's just sad, man.
It's just sad, man.
I got Canada now, man.
There you go, bro.
We're all Canadian now.
Okay, like with you, how do you think? Actually, I want to go one by one. So with Brazil, how do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think they're gonna win? Because I think they have the best chance.
I think Brazil have like one of the strongest teams in the tournament. They have great depth. Alisson, one of the best keepers in the world. You have
Yeah.
Vini and Neymar coming to the tournament.
Neymar.
Super amazing
Mhm.
form. Neymar did get injured. He has a slight ankle injury,
It's probably be out for a
swollen
couple
ankle.
games.
They're saying he's gonna miss the next 2 games, but should be back for the group stage.
That's what.
If
That's
they
where it
make it.
matters.
That's where it
Without
matters.
him.
Right? No, they'll make it. For sure. No, they have enough. They have enough strength. In,
Yeah, I know.
Like in their
they
depth.
should easily be.
Yeah,
able
they
to
should
make it.
easily. I think they'll top the group, but
Yeah.
I don't know if Neymar's fully fit. Everyone's firing. I think Brazil have a really good chance, man.
I
They have a really good chance. I think.
think so. So are you gonna support Croatia since you're like part Croatian or?
Canada.
Okay, but okay. What do you
Canada, Italy.
think is the future of Italian football from now on? Well, like, what do they need to do?
I think the biggest problem with Italy, I think, is even if you look at it within the league, there's not a lot of young talent and
That's
young Italian players that come in the league.
Mhm.
If you look at, England, you look at France, you look at Germany, you look at Spain,
They're taking those risks.
all the biggest teams in those countries produce talent
Yeah.
from their country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
trust in
Germany,
their youngsters
you know,
more.
you
too.
have
they take the risk to
Musiala.
play their youngsters.
You
Yeah.
have players like Mukoko.
Mm-hmm.
In France, you have Mbappe coming from a large team.
Yeah.
England, you have Foden. Sancho came from there as well. Rashford, Saka. They're all coming from the biggest teams in the country, and they're investing in their youth and they're trusting in the youth. Whereas in Italy, it seems like they rely on their experienced players a lot, which is fair because they've been
Yeah.
able to win with those experienced players.
Yeah.
But it comes to a point where you need to also invest in your youth, or else you're gonna have these
It's gonna come to a
long
point
lulls of where you're not doing anything, which you're kind of seeing now. They won the Euro,
like you're right
yes,
now.
but like for the World Cup, it's like they should be there, right? It's like you're
Yeah.
one of the top 5 leagues in the world. Like you should be producing talent from your country that is going to be able to take you to the World Cup, and they just haven't been focusing enough on their youth. Like I can't
No.
think of, the last time there was like a young Italian talent that was like exciting
Yeah.
Donnarumma.
that people were
That's
talking
legit.
I think Balotelli was like the last like big
about, right?
Italian
Yeah.
talent, right?
Actually, to that point of Balotelli, knowing Italy and its history of racism, is this a good sign that the Italian youth system shall give a chance to immigrant kids? Because if
That too.
you know what I mean, I'm not saying all Italians are racist. I don't mean to
Yeah.
make that point, but
Mhm.
like if you look at Spain, especially France and Germany,
Yeah.
they're giving their ethnic minorities a chance.
Exactly.
Like what they're doing.
Exactly.
Same with England, and then with Spain now they're kind of doing that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like one of the Williams brothers,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ansu Fati, right?
Yeah.
Ansu
Ansu Fati
Fati,
as well,
of
yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And then to that point, shouldn't Italy do the same? Because it's not a country that's 100% white. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
because like I think Balotelli is the best example. Like,
Yeah.
maybe there's a lot of talent in those immigrant kids.
Maybe there is, but maybe they're not getting the chances, right?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
They don't
thing,
have the
right?
money. They don't have the opportunities.
Who
So
knows?
They should be giving those guys those opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of like, again, I'm making assumptions.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like if all your if all your options are exhausted,
Try something new.
try something new.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's like
exactly.
you have the people in the country, you have potential talent, and
Yeah.
it's like they need to really just reinvest in the youth, because
Yeah.
it's not even that they're not investing in, like, let's say immigrants that are in the
Mhm.
country, they're not investing in their own
Yeah.
Mm.
ethnic background. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
not really seeing, like, the academies in Italy aren't known for producing,
No.
Not
Name me,
anymore.
name me an academy that it does. in
right?
Italy. No
and it's
way.
like, you know what I mean? Like you can't really, and it's like a lot of like the young Italian talents, like Balotelli wasn't in Italy for long,
Oh,
you know what
they
I
all
mean?
Leave.
Yeah.
and
They
they
all
all
leave.
they
and,
all
and
leave.
if anything, they come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
That's
they don't-
true.
It's like.
But then again, like the Italian league seems like it's getting a little stronger now. You see not just Juventus dominating, you see Napoli doing well,
Yeah,
Milan,
exactly.
Inter. So maybe that will help,
But
young talent
My
wanna
only
come
thing
up
with
and
that
stay
is,
in
like,
Italy.
if you think about those teams, there's maybe, like, you can count on probably one hand the amount of Italians
Yeah,
that
I
play
was
a
gonna
key
say.
role
I was
in the
gonna say
top
that.
teams.
I was just about to say
Yeah,
that.
that's
If you
true.
name those teams, who's the top players?
Like
Leao,
Atalanta,
Portugal.
there's not really any Italian that plays a predominant role.
Yeah.
Milan, you can argue Tonali,
yeah,
right?
Sure.
Inter, maybe Bastoni, Barella.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Barella for sure.
Uh-huh.
Juventus, maybe Chiesa.
Yeah,
But, Roma, Pellegrini,
Yeah.
maybe.
Zaniolo.
Like the Italians are not the face of those teams.
No.
Oh,
That's
And
crazy.
That's where your problems start, right? Because, like, if the biggest teams in your country aren't, producing Italian talent, and they're not, star-studded with, the best players in the country that from your country are playing for the best teams in your country,
hmm
then there's obviously some kind of problem where they have to look to other countries.
Ah.
Napoli are going to Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're bringing in Georgian talent. You know what I
Oh,
mean? It's
man.
like,
That's desperate.
right? And it's like there clearly is like, maybe some deep digging that needs to be done, and they need to,
know what this
start
rem-
from the bottom.
Now you're saying this.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds you? It reminds you of where England was at in like 2008 or 2010,
Mhm.
where they're like all their best talents were not English.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
all the
yeah.
clubs, all their best talent were not English. Now it's different.
Yeah.
It seems like they learned from that mistake. Same with Germany in like 2006.
Mhm. Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
The World Cup in Germany, the biggest criticism is like we're not producing enough.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Italy puts aside its, let's call it arrogance, because
Yeah.
Italians are very proud of what they
Yeah,
have, which
for
rightfully so.
100%.
Italian fans are the best and worst fans on the planet. Like, like if they're with you, they're the best, the
Yeah.
most passionate, and you want that. They're the worst because like it's just like it's just too much. You know? It gets too much sometimes. And I live in an Italian neighborhood, so I know what I'm saying. And it's like,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's the best and worst. And I really hope that even with all my Italian friends, they even said the same thing. Is like, we don't deserve to be in this World Cup. If we
It's
lose
true.
to North Macedonia, we don't
Yeah,
deserve to be
That's
there.
fair.
Yeah.
And they all said like, let's hope that we learn from this and move. I hope so. Like if they don't learn from this, then there's a real problem.
Yeah.
100%.
Because Italy's like a massive footballing nation. Like if
Yeah,
you're not
f-
participating in the World Cup, then
For
come on.
2 World Cups in a row.
World
That's
Cups in
not
a
even
row?
like
That's
just a one-off,
bad.
right?
That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, he never would have thought of that
Mhm.
ever. But I'm glad that Portugal's in it instead. Ronaldo.
Oh, God.
Yeah, talk to us about Ecuador. How do you
Yeah,
think,
yeah, exactly.
Ecuador's chances are.
Oh man, good game today. I think they deserved the win against the Netherlands.
Mm.
Unfortunately, we did not get it. Netherlands did start off scoring by Gakpo in the 5th minute, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, pretty.
But
early
again,
on.
that goal was because of one of our errors.
Yeah.
Mm.
But after that, like, Netherlands were nowhere.
Yeah.
The first half wasn't too good for Ecuador, but we did play better than Netherlands, but it wasn't our best performance. But then second half, we just turned it on, and ended Valencia, man.
Ecuador really surprised me. I didn't rate them at all this World Cup.
A lot of people didn't.
No,
Yeah, they
but-
surprised a lot of people.
Yeah,
They're a very young squad.
that's
Very,
good.
very
They're one
young
of the
squad.
youngest in the tournament.
One of the youngest squad. I think they're third youngest.
How
And
about-
I think they're the youngest in South Americans.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Youngest South American squad.
Mm.
Wow.
But they just have so much passion and so much pride to play for Ecuador. And a lot of, I think all South American teams do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we all have pride and passion to play for.
All South
Our-
American
our-
players
our-
would rather play for their country
Yes.
than for their club.
Oh, 100%.
And you notice it with us too. Like, as just fans, I'd rather watch Ecuador play than watch Barcelona play.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Because I love watching my national team play. And it's
Facts.
the same thing for them. You know what I mean? You can tell the what's the word?
Camaraderie.
the family, like they're all together. And you're talking about religion, like Ecuador. There was videos of them praying before the games together
course.
at a hotel.
That's
Just them
beautiful.
praying. After the games, they pray. When they celebrate, they all
They pray.
they-
Yeah.
You can tell like they're just one family.
Just united.
And it's like we have so much good talent now that's playing abroad in Europe.
Do you think this is like a golden generation?
This might be the golden generation. I think this is not. We're gonna do well in this World Cup, but our players, like you're saying, they're young. So
Yeah,
I think next World Cup, in the future, we're gonna start to see these guys in their prime. But
Mm.
from what I saw from this game, we're looking so good, man.
Yeah.
One of our best defenders, Inkapie, he plays in Germany right now.
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen.
Oh, okay.
Won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if a big team starts to look at him
Yeah, he's having a good
because
tournament.
he's having a
He's
really good
talented.
tournament. Then we have another center back who's Poroso, who's plays for, I think plays in Liga or something. or the small
Troyes, I
division.
think.
Troyes, yeah.
Mm.
But he's 20 years old, and I think he played the best today in that back line. Our back line was nice, but he was one of the best defenders. He wasn't scared to go hard into Depay.
You can't be. Man.
Then you have Caicedo. I can't say much more
Brighton.
than he's amazing
Yeah.
Mhm.
in the midfield. So small. He was very integral to our goal.
Yeah.
He took it off the player. Like, I don't know how he gets these legs around his players, but he gets the ball off him, plays it off to our winger, whatever, crosses it in.
Yeah.
Then you have Ener Valencia, who's just
The beast.
a beast, bro. He's in probably his best shape ever
Yeah.
right now. He's like hitting his prime, his peak, coming off Fenerbahce, scoring like 10 plus goals before he came into the World Cup.
Oh, wow. Pretty good. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Really good. I think
Yeah.
he has like 13 or 14 coming in.
Not bad.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really hot right now. And now he's the third player or whatever. I forgot what the stat is, but he's only third best.
I think he's the only South American player to score like
Mhm.
the last six. He scored like six.
Not
Like
even- not
Ecuador's
South American.
only goal
Mm.
in the World
But he also
Cup
has
for the
another thing.
last
He's the
three
only player to
tournaments.
score in like consecutive games or something.
I think
forgot
it's
what
6 consecutive games for Ecuador in World Cups or something
yes,
like
or
that.
something like that. Yeah.
Wow, super
From
cool.
all players.
That-
And like you can tell he's starting to realize what he can do. And
Yeah.
he's getting to these good positions. We have Plata, who's also nasty, really good on with the ball. And I think this year we can. I'd be happy with them just getting out of the group.
Mm.
That's what I wanted to happen. And
You think
after
they
that,
will though?
I think they will.
Yeah, they will.
I think they will. You saw today, Netherlands weren't very good at all.
Mm.
No.
They got lucky in their goal. They don't have a very good attacking force.
Mhm.
Same thing goes to Senegal, I think.
Yeah.
Mane,
Yeah.
there's no problem.
Yeah.
There's no party without Mane, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's when we'll be able to exploit them. And we're in a hot streak right now.
Yeah.
And like we're playing so well. Our gaffers, you can tell our gaffer really loves. He's not even Ecuadorian.
Where's he from?
I think he's Argentinian, pretty sure, or
Oh.
Colombian.
Okay.
But he said in an interview, he's like, "I love these boys, man. They
That's
play together."
great. I
Bro,
love
he
that.
brought it. He taken the Rodriguez striker. That got subbed on. He doesn't even play for the first league, the first division in Ecuador. He plays
he's
for
from
the
Argentina.
second division in
Oh, that's
Ecuador.
gonna change.
He brought him to the second. He's like, I brought him because I can tell the passion he has
Mm.
for this team. And he said the only thing I that hurts me is that I should have brought him. I should have brought him sooner.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like it just shows you how like there's so much quality in Ecuador that he brought someone from a second division
Yeah.
Yeah.
from Ecuador to come to the World Cup. This is his third appearance for Ecuador.
That's crazy.
That's
And-
hilarious. Oh my god.
He's had 3 appearances for Ecuador, and 2 of them are in the World Cup.
That's so crazy.
And he got
Imagine
subbed
the
on.
pressure though.
And he got subbed on for both.
Damn.
And you can tell like him too. Like it was, he was the gratitude he had to come in this World Cup.
For
Like,
sure,
before,
bro.
Before he got subbed on, he goes on the floor. He was praying. He
He
was
probably thought he was dreaming when he got the
Like-
call up, bro.
exactly. And even after the game, when the whistle blows, he was praying. He was like, "Thank you for this opportunity." Like
Yeah.
that's when you can tell like this guy's like, you get the most from those type of people where like they're grateful
Yeah.
for what they have.
appreciative,
Mhm.
right?
Some players are not like that, man. They're
No.
like, I deserve this. I
They're
need
brats.
this. This is me.
Mm-hmm.
This is I deserve. Like, be grateful for what you have, right?
Yeah.
And I think those are the teams that are going to do good. Look. You can tell in this World Cup, a lot of upsets.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of
Small teams
ties,
performing, right?
right? You have England tying to the U.S. Why? Because U.S. wanted it more.
Yes.
They're grateful to be in this situation.
Yes.
England, the UK, they're like, we should be here. We should be doing this. We should be doing like, but like, play. You got to do your thing.
Yeah.
And look, Japan as well.
Amazing.
You know, Korea.
Played amazing.
Right? Like these all small teams, Saudi Arabia, they're doing so good because they
man.
have this camaraderie between themselves and they're grateful for what they have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one thing I love about this World Cup is that all the small teams are having they're having their shine.
That's why I love the World Cup.
and that's what I love. But also what I love. Okay, this actually reminds me of like some of the senior players in the Premier League are just complaining how these young players are spoiled. They keep saying like they're spoiled. They're already social media stars before they become 25. They're ungrateful. But then the part of me was like, but that's only in England. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
only in England. That's
Yeah.
only in
True.
Europe because there's so much attention. But
Mhm.
if you look away, we're having these stories as you're saying. These are grateful dudes who just won one game. Just give me one game. Like Joel Waterman for Canada. Or Ismail Kone. Ismail Kone, this is his first year as a professional.
I know, right?
I know.
So crazy. And he's at a World Cup.
Take
Do you know how crazy that is? First year as a professional. And he got rejected 3 times from the Impact Youth Academy.
Crazy.
And like now everyone's like, wow, what a find. And I'm like, imagine how much more of those, not just in Canada, but throughout the world,
throughout the world.
Mhm.
that are just flying under the radar.
Exactly, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, give them a chance. Next thing you know, you have a baller that's like undeniable.
Mhm.
And that's what I think you're gonna see a lot of Canadians coming out, going to
100%.
Europe after this.
Yeah.
This World Cup, you're gonna see. I think this whole team might start heading to Europe soon.
Maybe, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then you get more eyes coming to from Europe, from these teams, big teams looking to the MLS, looking to Canadian
Yeah.
football, and they start picking out these players, and that's what this World Cup is really doing for Canada.
Yeah.
You know, like we're probably not gonna do this so well, but that's not the point. I think our mission is to get eyes in Canada.
Yes. I think Mourinho even said it. Like, I remember reading an interview from Mourinho, and he was talking about Alphonso Davies. He's like, what that guy did is the reason why more scouts are looking into Canada.
Mm.
They're like, if this guy comes out of Vancouver or Edmonton, wherever you want to put him, how much more of these guys are out there?
Exactly.
And I forget who interviewed Mourinho, but he pretty much says like, trust me, more European scouts are in Canada looking for the next Davies.
Interesting.
So as you said, it's only a matter of time, and I think we deserve it. I
think
For
we
sure,
do.
man.
I think we do, and I think this game against Croatia is gonna be a big one too.
hope
A
so.
lot of eyes on that game
what's
Sunday.
Well, what are your score lines? What's your predictions?
We're at that part of the podcast now, right? So let's, I'd say it's gonna be tight. I think 2-1,
Who's scoring?
2-1 or 1-0. Who's gonna score our first goal for Canada?
Yeah,
I don't know.
big
man.
question.
That's what happened. That's what worried me last game.
Semi Piet.
Yeah.
Hat trick.
I think I like the way Buchanan was playing.
Me too.
He was very direct. He was just missing the final
Mm.
thing. And I think that's what he's gonna realize this game.
Yeah.
And I think this is the game where he's gonna put it in the back of the net first.
Agreed.
He was amazing that game. Once they moved him to the left side,
Yeah.
completely different.
Because he could be more direct that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was beautiful on the right, taking on these players, bro. He's so strong and so fast for his height.
Yeah.
6 feet tall, and he's like pacey as hell, bro.
Yeah,
There was
man.
one play that I forgot who it was. They were on a counterattack, Belgium. You just see him,
Right back.
roadrunner, bro.
Yeah.
Meep.
Like just bam, and just bothering everyone. He wasn't scared to tackle anyone. You saw him. He had some words for Witzel as well.
Yeah.
Like he's not
I like
scared to do that. And you want to see those players, man.
Yeah.
You want to see that attitude. Like I'm not scared of you.
You know, the first time I saw Buchanan play, it was against Montreal when he was in New England.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
He came on like the 80th minute. It was at the Big O at the Olympic Stadium.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment, it was a cross to him, I think. The moment he touched the ball, I knew for Montreal we were screwed. Like just the moment he touched the ball, I was like, this guy's so special. So I said, look him up. And I was like, oh, he's from Brampton. Okay, he's Canadian.
Yeah.
And then I think a few months later, he got called up to the U23
Yeah.
team. And then later, senior team. I think Buchanan's going to have, I'm just going to say this, I think his career might be bigger than Fonzie in the future.
Really?
I really do
that's a
think
big
so.
shout.
Also,
I hope so.
I hope
I
so.
really do.
Hopefully, right?
I really like
hope
him.
so. I like him, but it's just there's a way he plays that's really endearing.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Where he's in your face, he's
Yeah.
quick, he's
Yeah.
a good dribbler. He just needs to finish.
Yeah.
I think that, and I think his decision making, the final
Final
thing,
balls.
Yeah.
because he sometimes he takes too long on the ball,
Yeah,
or he can just be passing it over or take a shot. He tries too much a little bit, but
Yeah. It comes
he
with
can-
experience
that
too,
comes with
right?
experience. That comes with his age. He's still young.
yeah. It comes with the right coach too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that too. So I think he makes a bigger move after this. I mean, Belgium, Club Brugge is big, but like
No, it needs to be bigger.
he needs a bigger move, and I think he will if he continues this form right now. And I think he's gonna get the first goal for Canada.
I
2-1.
think so. What do you?
2-1.
What about you guys?
2-1, eh? What you got, Jimmy?
James.
I don't know. It's a tough one.
It's gonna be tight, man.
Because
It's gonna be a tight game.
I think it's going to be similar to the Belgium game where there's going to
Yeah.
be like, a lot of chances. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals. I think
Might even be 1-0.
this one here, I think it's going to be definitely a midfield battle, and it's going to be, Eustachio did well
Oh my
against De
gosh.
Bruyne,
Fantastic. Nutmegged him.
negged him.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh,
But
that
you know-
was nasty.
Oh my god. Heritage moment.
But can he do the
Imagine
same
we
against
scored after
Modric?
that.
It might be tough to do the same against Modric. So I think that's going to be
Yeah.
a big thing. And I think Croatia are going to want more of the ball. Like they're a very possession-based team where
Mhm.
Belgium didn't mind letting us
Yeah.
have the ball.
Yeah.
And I think that might even favor us a little bit just because we do have players that play well on the counter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We have
Mhm.
a lot of speed. And you saw when Belgium sat back,
Yeah.
we didn't have that player to unlock the
You're right.
defense. When
I
they
like
sat
that.
back, we
Mm.
couldn't do anything. We were crossing balls in the box color, and it was like, and he couldn't really do much.
Yeah.
I also don't think their keeper is as strong as Courtois,
Those are beasts.
Yeah, man.
right? So
They're
I
so
think
good.
if we have those chances, maybe their keeper doesn't make as many saves.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go 2-1.
2-1.
2-1 Canada.
First goal.
First goal, Joe David.
Joe
Uh,
I
David.
think Joe
eh?
David he had a lot of chances first game, and I think
Kind of
he's
fell off
he's
second
gonna
half.
he kind of
Yeah.
fell off second half a little bit, but I think a lot of it was he was covering a lot of ground. He
Yeah,
was dropping
yeah,
back
yeah.
to get the ball
He
a
looked
lot.
tired towards the end.
He was tired at the end. Yeah.
But I think he's gonna have to be the key guy because of our forwards, he's the one that plays at the highest level, and he's gonna be the one that needs to turn up against these
I really want
high
him
quality teams because at the end of the day he's doing it week in week out. He's brushing shoulders with these guys in the league
Yeah, true.
that are playing at a high level, so he needs to really
Uh-huh.
turn up and take the offense because Fonzie is being tasked with a lot. Sometimes you see he'll grab the ball in our own half, he'll take on players.
Yeah, but he does too much too.
But it's tough
Yeah,
for
too
him to
much,
do
yeah.
that and then also be the one that's going to be scoring the goal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unless it's like a good link up, which you saw a couple times, but it's going to be a lot to ask for, and it's going to have to be really special. But I think David's going to be the one where, if he can convert those chances, some of those balls into
Yeah,
the box,
he's gotta.
he's a good shout.
He's got to convert those, man.
What are you thinking, Matt?
Me personally, so my optimistic view, I'm saying 1-1. I feel like it's gonna be a tough game against Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Canada is still gonna take one more game to finally gel
Yeah.
and kick into their stride. And I don't know, man. I see Eustachio, set piece,
Mm.
Kamal Miller, header.
Come on, Miller.
Come on, Miller.
And his first
Okay.
goal at the World Cup.
I
That's how I'm
really-
seeing it, bro.
I love
see
Kamal
that.
Miller.
I love
I
him.
love. But when you saw that picture of him crying during the,
That was everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
you really felt that, man, as a
Yeah.
person too. You
Love
just-
to see it,
as
right?
a fan. You're just like,
I like Kamal Miller because even with Montreal, he's a very passionate player,
Mhm.
and you can tell he's the type of guy that would ride or die, and you want that guy with you. I like that. I think Kamal Miller would. I want him to score the opening goal. I would say a lot about him, the quality
sure.
of player he is. I think Kyle Larin might score the opening goal.
you think he starts?
I don't think he'll do it by starting
Off the bench?
off the bench, power sub.
Super sub? Okay.
Yeah, like there's something about his demeanor in front of net that I feel it's a little more composed
Yeah.
than Jonathan David.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what
And
I
I
mean?
kind of felt that last game too. Like, yeah, he had headers that weren't on target, but he was there.
He was
Mhm.
there. He was
You know
always
what I
a
mean?
threat.
He was a threat. He was a different type of. He's a different type of threat. He's big. He's a big body.
Yeah.
Strong. And he brings something different to the team. Like, we're all a lot of Canadian, all these players are very pacey, you know, very
Yeah.
small, very technical, but he's just straight up poacher.
That's it.
And that's why I want him to start, to be honest. And
Yeah.
I like Hoylett off the bench. I know Hoylett's good and he can start and he brings something else for the team.
Yeah.
But we have what he brings to the team on the field already.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, we have players who can pass. We have players who are pacey. We have players who can dribble. We don't have a player like Larin on the field.
Yeah.
We don't have a poacher. We don't have a guy with a big body, big presence, who he might not get the ball, but he'll bring a defender in.
Yeah.
You know, play a wall pass with him.
Yeah.
I think he needs to start because he's a different player, man. He's a different player we don't have on the field.
I agree. I think the lineup against Croatia is going to be different.
I think so.
I
That's
think
why.
it has to be different.
has
How
to
many
be
players
different.
do you think are subbed out?
That's a really good question. I think the defense is going to stay the same.
Mm.
I think Alistair Johnson's going to stay at wing back.
Yeah.
I think Fonzie was playing wing back, right?
It's like a 3-4-3.
It was like a 3-4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
I think Alistair was playing almost like a right center back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Richie was playing
was
almost
Richie.
as a wing back.
That's
Richie.
right.
Richie had a
Richie.
good
Bro,
game.
Richie had a
was
fantastic
solid.
game.
Oh
man.
my gosh, Richie, bro.
I
How
think-
is he not playing for Nottingham Forest?
But I think like the back three is the same. The fullbacks are the same. I think midfield. I don't want.
You don't think Atiba starts?
I think
Atiba has to start.
he should start because he
Has
was
to
really
start.
good.
Played
was-
well.
yeah.
He was
Dude, like,
breaking up
he was
the
good.
play, and I
He
think
was-
that's what you need him.
Yeah, like let him play the first 60 minutes and then
Exactly,
Something
because
like that.
he was doing all the dirty work. He was being very very aggressive physically, and Eustachio was doing all the finesse stuff,
Exactly.
which was a good balance.
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't know if Hoylett will start, but I like him. I really like him.
I do too, but I like him off the bench.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to think who else is.
I think everything else stays. You
I
have
think-
Davies, you have Joe David.
Or they somehow make Jonathan David and Kyle Larin start together.
That's what I think. That's why I
Maybe.
think Hoylett comes off. You have Jonathan David start, and you play a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
midfielder comes in.
Maybe.
But
Uh,
Right, that's the
That's the
Man.
thing, right?
Our midfield, I think.
no,
is our
3-4-3. You play Joe David as a
almost like off the
off
striker
off
with
off a
Tajon.
striker. Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
I think our midfields are
Off a
thinnest,
striker, yeah.
thinnest part.
that's what I'm saying. And then you have Larea, who's going to be going up a lot. So maybe Davies drops there, or when Larea goes up, you kind of drops back.
Or even have Osorio play as one of the top three
Yeah,
if you want to take that risk.
if he's fit enough.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
it,
he'll
right?
start Osorio.
Because Osorio plays amazing for Canada.
does.
Oh yeah. He
Like,
turns up.
I
for
don't like
Canada.
him in a TFC jersey, but like he's fantastic in a Canada jersey.
And
Yeah.
if he starts, he's the kind of guy that you can see getting that first goal for Canada because
Maybe,
he's
right?
had so many
Maybe.
big goals,
Yeah,
he has had big goals.
right?
That's
And he
Teka.
plays well in big games,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
right.
it's like, if he gets to start, or maybe if it's 0-0,
That wouldn't
he's off
surprise
the
me.
bench.
You never know, right?
It wouldn't surprise me if he comes off the starts, but I think the three subs definitely are him first. Sorry, Hoylett, him, and Kone. Like, those are the three subs you're going in.
Maybe like
I don't think Ishmael
Kone
Kone starts.
I don't think he'll start.
No.
Oh, I think Adekubi should start.
Tyler
'cause-
Klugman brings
Played
something else too. That's
Yeah.
the thing too.
I'll-
Maybe out of Klugman starts and you see
Fonzie go up.
Fonzie
Pushed
go
up, yeah.
Actually, that makes more sense to me. That makes a little more sense because then
Because he's more defensive than you have Davies, more of attacking force. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that can happen too.
I
Actually,
think so. And I
Maybe.
think Kone will come off the bench because like I love him. I love that kid. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's destined for something amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But the first 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, you can tell he was
slipping everywhere.
Yeah.
But the first 10 minutes, he looked comfortable. He looked good. And then he sort of dissipated as the game moved on.
he was
nervous.
passing it back a
He
lot.
seemed nervous to like go forward.
Go forward, yes.
And I
He didn't want to
then-
make a mistake.
it's fair though,
Can you
like given
blame
his
him?
circumstances.
I'd be nervous
Yeah.
too. And he's younger than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, his first year being a professional.
man?
That's uncanny.
You know how much pressure that is? People don't understand how much pressure that is. Of course, he's gonna be passing it back and being cautious,
Yeah,
playing cautiously. I am too. Imagine I mess up. My first year professional, I come in here and I mess up, and then they score on us.
that's
my
what I'm
fault.
saying. Yeah, it's well, like, I kind of want to see him score a goal though.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick.
That'd be
And,
sick.
Which also means he's definitely leaving Montreal, which is heartbreaking.
Oh yeah, if he scores a goal, he's gone.
It's
If
heartbreaking.
he scores a goal, he's gone. But if he scores a goal, it's 100%.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gone. Yeah,
I like what you say without a Kubbe though. Maybe you put him you start him.
yeah.
He
And
did
then-
well when he came on.
That's
Yeah,
why.
he did.
Maybe
He's
start
solid.
him be a little bit more defensively minded. Because
He's-
when Davies playing left mid, left wing back, he's
Mhm.
obviously more attacking, right? So
yeah,
you just leave Davies up there. I think the only player you take, I think it'll be mostly the same team, just Hoylett, if anything.
Think so?
I
He'll
don't
be
think
like the
anyone
one
else- I
the
don't
one
think you could take
rotation.
anyone else out.
it's hard to mess
You
around with
can't.
that Levin
You
because
can't.
yeah.
Because they
Like,
played
Laria,
well. Like
Everyone
why
brought
mess up that
exactly,
that
and
gel,
I think
you know?
everyone else brings their own thing.
Yeah.
That's why I think Hoylett brings something that we already have on the field that you can
Mm.
bring on later on. When
Okay,
everyone's
yeah.
tired,
That's a good
you bring
point.
him on. He has pace now.
Yeah, and also
You
great
know,
dribbler.
And he's a great dribbler. We already have great dribblers though, but now when he's off the bench, the pace and everything. Maybe you bring Anada Kubehan, which is a bit more defensive, and you bring Davies up top now.
Yeah.
You know?
All I ask is that I hope nobody tries to be the hero.
Yeah.
Like the freaking game that just passed.
Mhm.
Yes, where it's like the first,
Davies shouldn't be taking that freaking penalty.
That's it. And like for me, it's just like I understand you want to be heroes, and I respect that because you need big egos
Of
to reach to
course,
this
for
level.
sure.
Of course.
But at the same time, it's like it's our first time in the World Cup in
Uh-huh.
like 30 something years. Just think about winning.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if this entire ethos of the Canadian national team is that we're one team,
team,
one
one together.
brotherhood,
Yeah.
as they keep saying,
Uh-huh.
then please display that.
You didn't feel it. You didn't feel it when they're in the final third. Like everyone wanted, and I don't blame them too.
Yeah, maybe we're being.
But
a
then
little
you also
critical,
do blame them
Yeah.
because. But at the end of the day, like if you're in that position, I have that thing in the back of my head. Like I could be the first player to score
Yeah.
for Canada. I
Yeah.
could be the
It's
first player to
tough,
score
man.
for
It's
Canada.
tough.
It's gonna be me. It could be me. It could be me. I'm not
But I don't know.
gonna-
In that first game, I also don't think they were going into it with the expectation that they were going to be seeing so much of the ball
Yeah.
against
Yeah,
the
that's
number
also
2
fair.
ranked team in the world. And I think the way we lined up, we weren't expecting to have that much of the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't really a player that could unlock the defense, right? So I think I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be a good
Excited.
game.
I'm excited for Derby House.
Yeah, this Sunday. Well,
Yeah.
by the time this comes out, it'll be too late. But there'll be more Derby Houses events
Yeah,
in
no.
Toronto. We're gonna have one in Montreal for World Cup final, December 18. It's gonna So if you're in Montreal, come by Derby House. It's
There
at
you go.
Beaubien, Avenue Beaubien. Yeah.
What was did you say your prediction?
Yeah. What's your prediction? Quick prediction.
I think it's gonna be 1-0.
1-0?
Yeah.
I think it was gonna be a
It's
tight
gonna be a
game.
very tight game.
And I think, like I said, I think Cal Laren's gonna score the first goal.
Mm.
I would love to see that too.
I would love to see that too.
Shout out Kyle Larin.
Either way, as long as we win, that's all I care.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I care.
That's all I care about too.
That's all I care about.
But yeah. We'll end off there, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Jason,
Thanks,
for
Jason,
coming
man.
by. It was a
it was
pleasure.
a
I know
pleasure
this has
having
been in the works for a while.
Yeah.
tough to line up sometimes, especially when you're coming from a different city. But
All good.
thanks for carving out the time to
Yeah, man.
to
No,
come
thanks
by.
for having
and,
me. I was looking forward to this all week. I was
Uh-huh.
really
There you go.
excited. So
I want next time you come by with everyone. That would be sick.
can we all fit?
We'll make
Yeah,
it
we'll
happen.
figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
make it
figure it
happen.
out.
If it's not here, we'll go somewhere else. But I
We had
want.
what? How many guys at one time? Like 8, 9?
Yeah, we had a good
One
couple people
podcast?
here.
It was tight and it was definitely hot.
But it worked out.
Yeah, but it worked out.
All right?
Okay.
And even if it's not here, somewhere else, we should definitely like.
We'll figure
I'll-
something.
We'll
that'd
find
be
a
cool.
venue.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
because we're 6.
Yeah.
Okay, we can fit.
No, we'll get some. Even if it's not here, we'll find a venue.
You're
It would be
six, we're
cool to do
six.
something.
Yeah, it'd be 12 total.
Yeah, maybe something after the World Cup.
It's like trying to get the Wu-Tang Clan together. It's exciting.
Not easy.
but it has to happen.
I'm down. No. We'll make it happen.
Yeah,
we'll
for
make
sure,
it happen.
for sure. And then we gotta reach Montreal one day too. man.
Yeah.
Please come by. Like I said, bring your boots. We'll go play pickup.
I'm actually really hyped for that
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
more than anything.
Even
That'd
if you
be
come
sick.
in the winter, I'll figure something out.
Bring a
A
shovel.
nice indoor
Bring a
pitch.
shovel. We've done that
No,
before.
no.
We've brought in shovels before.
We got. I have an indoor pitch that we can go to. We'll
There you
be
go.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. All right, man. Anything you want to say to the camera?
Yeah, any last words?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for watching.
Hey.
Thanks for being audience. I appreciate you all. And you can follow me at the Soccer Pilgrim on Instagram, Soccer Pilgrim on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever podcast platform. And yeah, just subscribe to Darby.
Yeah.
Of course.
Shout out
man.
Darby.
Shout out.
out.
Yeah, follow
guys.
Darby. I wrote story there. I write stories for the magazine. It was each edition.
Mhm.
And yeah, and like I said, thanks for having me, man. I'm really grateful to be here.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
I was really looking forward to this.
Man, it was like you're one of us, bro. I was like, you just kept on talking, man.
Yeah.
I felt comfortable. I felt very comfortable here. Thanks, guys.
There you go,
It's an
man.
easy one.
Yeah,
And-
boys, that's that. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know who we are.
Be the culture, man.
We the culture.
Culture.
And with that, we out.
Laters. Oh, Canada. Let's go.